Guys, I am so sorry. I am so sorry that I'm late. I've been coming late so often, and the main reason why is because of this model. I am still trying to figure out how, well, not figuring out. I figured out how to do the parameters of the mouth, and as you can tell, the mouth movements are way smoother. Guys, wrong button. Wait, I am so sorry. I am so sorry. Wait, where's the sad one? No. Wrong model. There we go. Can you tell that I'm like really new to this? Can you my oh my god, my glasses. Ow, my ear hurts. Now is not the time. I'm gonna wear them wonky now. So my eye might look weird. I am so sorry. Again, I'm like I feel like I really need to apologize and I feel like really bad. I was trying to tweak the mouth and I think I finally like figure it out. I'm still need to tweak around with it a bit more to like find like something find how do I put it? To figure out to make how to make myself satisfied with it. I I am really sorry. Wait. Let me zoom in so you guys can see how sorry I am. That's my boobs. Those are my boobs. I apologize. let me do like one of those YouTuber apologies. I am I'm so sorry. I I can't I don't know how to explain myself. It was just all a mistake. I promise to do better. I'll be better. I promise. I hope you guys can take me for my word. I'm a changed person. I will do better. I will leave this model alone or I'll try to actually like work on it at a point where I can't stop laughing. I'll work on it on days where I'm not streaming so it doesn't interfere with me streaming. I only remember about it before streaming and I'm like, "Oh, let me tweak around with it a bit." And then I look at the time and it is 11:30. I'm sorry. No, genuinely I apologize for like being late because bro, this is the third time. Not the third time. Wednesday I was on time. No, Wednesday I was late because I did not figure out the timing. Guys, I promise I'm not like this. I pro- I promise I'm better than that. I'll do better. I promise. But I'm here. I'm here. Does that count for something? I'm here. Oh my god. But yeah, I was tweaking around with the model and I figured out that rather than following the parameters of someone else, I should follow the parameters of my own mouth because clearly when I used her parameters, it didn't work and the there was just no movement from the mouth and I realized like after tweaking with the parameters for me at least, it just didn't work out like the ones that she did. It just didn't work out for my own mouth. I still need to tweak around with this because I think for me now, like rather than like it not moving enough, it's still like really choppy. But as I said, like I'll do my best to ensure that tweaking on the model does not interfere with um streaming because I do feel bad for being so late. Again, I'm really sorry. But I hope also that the mouth tracking is better compared to like the last time. I'll figure it out with time. I'll figure it out how like what my perfect parameters are. So yeah. But yeah, I actually wanted to start. The plan for today was actually to start Killer Chat, which is another. It's a visual novel. So for people, I played the demo some time ago, last year. um, Let me turn this one off. There we go. So for anyone who doesn't know what Killer Chat is a visual novel where you're an author who wants to understand the process of like, mm, how do I explain it? Who wants to understand the they're writing a book about like in the perspective of a murderer, and so for that they accidentally end up in a like a whole kind of Discord server of serial killers, and you have to pretend that you're a serial killer so that you don't die. And it's like a dating visual novel. Yeah. But yeah, I wanted to play that today, but I hadn't finished the demo from Friday, which is kind of insane because it really honestly does not feel like um it doesn't feel like a demo. It feels like a really long, like it feels like the actual game because I have like I was streaming for 5 hours and the demo still isn't over. So, we're going to continue that. We're going to continue playing more visual novel demos, and then at some point hopefully maybe we'll finish the demos today. Then we'll start playing Killer Chat. I'll probably be playing that 2 days out of the 3 days I stream in a week until I'm done with the game. Which is probably going to be Monday, and it's probably going to be Sunday as well. Cuz Friday since Fridays are the days that I'm able to stream long, I want to play something else. I want to play more games. Wednesday, to be honest, we might not play Killer Chat yet. Fingers crossed, I'll be able to play something with friends online. That's the plan. So I hope we sort that out. And if we sort that out, yay. But yeah, that's the plan. So we're actually going to continue with the demo today. I've honestly been so relaxed. I spent this whole weekend cleaning, and I'm so happy because like the apartment's clean and I'm like really really happy, and it just puts me in such a good mood. Um yeah, no. My weekend was so relaxing because I'm alone. I have no like my family isn't here currently. Which is typically like why I stream so late to begin with. If I lived alone, I'd actually be able to stream a lot earlier and stream a lot longer if I streamed earlier, but because I live with family, it's a lot more difficult to be able to stream, which is why I stream so late because I'm trying to be considerate to my family. I don't I only stream when they go to bed. Also for my own sake because they might come in and then try to talk to me and I'm like, "Yeah, hi, I'm streaming. Please leave." Also, I need to be checking if like the sound and all that is okay, like if I'm being too loud, if everything's okay. I would say it's okay. I don't think I'm being. I think like the distance I'm at, like I was talking from this distance to be honest, but I think like it's okay. I don't think, I don't think it's crazy loud. I'm listening to myself and judging, and I think I'm okay. I think I'm okay. But I really like the mouth movement now. Like just looking at it, I'm very very pleased looking at it because when I talk normally, it picks up on my like mouth movements like really really well. Like this is me talking normally. This isn't me like going all out with my face and like over exaggerating. I can actually really talk normally and just I'm yapping. I am yapping so bad. But yeah, I'm really, really happy with the mouth movements. I'm really, really happy. You push and pull me like gravity. I fall for you, every part of me. You push and pull me like gravity. Insanity. I'm losing my mind. You push and pull me like gravity. I fall for you, every part of me. Push and pull me like gravity. Insanity. I'm losing my mind. Okay. I'm just trying to think. I want to talk more. I don't know what else to say, to be honest. But no, it feels really, really refreshing to be alone at home because I can do things at my own pace and I realize how tedious it is to I guess like you know how you're with family and you appreciate and you love your family so so much, but when you're around people all the time and you see them all the time, you still get like upset being around them. And I think like having space from people, like one thing that so that you don't get annoyed with people is that you need space, whether it's distance wise, whether it's just being left alone. I'm an introverted person. I need to be left alone. I just need like some space for a bit to recharge. And I'd say like my family aren't it's not that they're extroverted, it's just more that they have more social battery. And sometimes they want to hang out, sometimes they want to do something, and I'm like, leave me alone, please. But I was in such like this weekend, I was in such like a flow state. I was able to clean up everything and every like the whole apartment. When I say the whole apartment is clean, the whole apartment is sparkling. I cleaned like I deep cleaned and it really really helped clear my mind out because I think being back from my trip as well, I don't know, I mentally I was just like not I was not ready to be back. I really like it's not regarding streaming. I love streaming so much and it's my safe space, but how do I word it? It's my safe space, but like I think especially when it comes to I don't know how to word it. Especially being back in Germany, I don't think I can say that I don't think Germany is my place. I definitely want to move. I've lived here most of my life and I've grown here and I love this like I would not trade my experiences for the world because it's made me who I am. But Germany I don't think is a place for people to settle down in. I don't know. I'm not going to like get all into it. I guess like each to their own, but Germany is just not my place. I like with work as well. I've been burnt out from work. I'm like very like I'm not to the point like where before my holiday I was extremely burnt out. I was not happy with work. I'm back in a state where like I'm very indifferent towards it, but if I didn't have to do it, I wouldn't mind not doing it. But my problem is I don't know where I want to move. I think I think that's me. I don't know. I'm not like places. I think my options really like to me what works for me the best is either the UK or Canada. Canada, to be honest, has been my goal. I lived there when I was younger. I love Canada. The only issue as well is that it's very, very expensive. very expensive. And it's only getting more expensive. But the same thing can apply to Germany. The economy right now, getting like a small apartment, insane. Getting like a 1-room apartment that's like maybe like 30 something square meters, at least €1,000. Oh my god. My mind's so jumbled thinking about all that stuff. See you tomorrow. But yeah, no, I'm not trying to be a negative Nancy right now. Let me not get all into my head and blab and make myself out to be an idiot. It is what it is. But we'll get... The thing is, I'm very positive that things will turn out well. I'm going to be trying to work really hard this year. As I said, this year, I'm going to be consistent with streaming. I'm going to be working very, very hard to do the things I want to do. So keep tuned, and I appreciate all the support. But I am not gonna yap any longer. I think I have spoken for too long. So we're gonna continue with keyframes and go from there. Also, I just realized, like, y'all, I'm zoomed in. Let me zoom out. Oh. I didn't know I could do that. I didn't know I could tilt. Oh my god. You learn something new every day. Oh my god. I did a cartwheel. I didn't know I could do that. The things that make me happy, I swear to God, the things that like just tickle my fancy, just brings me joy. Okay. Let's be normal again. All right, let me set up the game so we can continue with it. So done love, so done with hurt. You're all I need. I feel like that was out of tune. So done with love, so done with hurt. Better than heartache. You're all I need. Yeah. All right, we're gonna continue with keyframes, which again, I really enjoyed the game. Like, I'm enjoying it so far. It warms my soul. It warms my heart, and I can't wait for the full game to come out. I'm so excited. Alright, let's continue from where we left off. Okay. Last time we left off, we were with Elio and Percy. So, for those who don't know, Percy is my favorite. Percy is the one I would be pursuing once I get the game. Just saying. That's all I'm saying. Alright. think we're getting food. We were having a study session and the three of us decided to get food. There's like, so from the looks of it, I don't know if your friends are romantic options. You have your friends, you have Deja and you have, I forgot the other one's name. I forgot their name. I don't remember their name. What was their name? Deja and fuck. Don't remember their name. Those are your like besties. Don't know if they're romance options. And then you have three guys who seem to be romance options for sure. So there's Percy, there's Jamie, and there's Elliot. And Percy, who was like the first person you actually meet in game. Yeah. Okay, printed across the top of them in blocky letters was a single prompt which read, I feel like the game's really loud. I feel like the game is really loud. Y'all probably didn't hear jack shit that I said. I wouldn't be surprised if you didn't. But all y'all have to know is that this guy here, Percy, is my favorite. Percy is my favorite. I like him a lot. That's all you guys need to know. That is really all you need to know. Okay. How are you doing? What a loaded question to be asking in exam season. Lowering your eyes, you peruse the responses written in chalk by other students. There was dread for group projects, relief at surviving the semester, regret for skipping classes, and drawings, of course, in all styles and colors, wherever there was space for them. Despite all of this, there was still space for a little more. Feeling creative, are we? That depends on you. Stooping, he snagged the handle of a nearby plastic bucket, lifting it to show you the plethora of chalk stocked within. What you got on your noggin, Picasso? You reach for a piece of chalk, then turn to find an empty spot. Percy picked through the selection with more care, focusing on specific colors. In the meantime, you search for an idea. What would we do? Guys, if the option is there, what better place to air out your understanding of Perseus Tozaki? Oh, that's his full name. Why do we know his full? Why am I only finding out his full name is Perseus Tozaki? Oh my god. You flash back to your showdown at the barbecue, mouth quirking into a little smile as you wrote a doodle of a tiny triangular flag completed your message. Percy T doesn't check his mail. Sheesh, sore winner much? I am never a sore winner. I'm a humble bragger. What can I say? What can I say? I humble brag. Percy was already finished, and as you brushed your hands clean, you peeked over at his work. He'd taken the simplest route possible, declaring Percy was here in large slanted letters. There were a few stars doodled nearby, and as you watched, he lifted his chalk to add a few more. Rather than a simple scrawled pentagram, each one was four-pointed, drawn with care. Four-pointed star. A four-pointed... What does a four-pointed star look like? Hold on. What does a four-pointed star look like? Four-pointed star. Oh, those! Guys, I promise I'm not... I promise I'm not slow. Alright. Anyways. His movements were clear and decisive, but when your eyes slide over to his face, he had a softer, more thoughtful look on his face. The best way to describe it was that he'd somehow relaxed. As he drew thin lines connecting the stars to each other, his eyes misted with a casual ease, instead of the attentive glint that he usually had when looking at the world around him. What are you thinking about? I don't know. What do you think I'm thinking about? Me. Yeah, I think you're deflecting by making me do the thinking for you. Whoa, careful. Hey, yo. Why are you saying I'm in a glass house? What are you trying to insinuate, Percy? One more little star, and he tossed his chalk back into the bucket, awarding himself a satisfied little chuckle. There was now a full-fledged constellation on the chalkboard, intersected by the all-caps message he had written earlier. And you were calling me Picasso? Yeah, wait. I just realized that might have been an insult. No, he was famous for a reason, bro. Like, that that's where the meme, I like it, Picasso. Okay, no, actually, I like it, Picasso is kind of an insult. It's like, oh, it looks weird, but I'll say I like it. Never mind. I didn't say that. Ignore me. I mean, but Picasso is he drew abstract art, yes, but he was well known for a reason. He was also an asshole. I didn't know that. You're not an asshole. I think you're a great Percy, just so you know. Oh, I see. I said I just realized. Rapidly approaching footsteps alerted you to a certain someone's return. Hello, Elio. That's Elio. Sorry about that. Elio skidded to a gentle stop in front of you both and raised a hand, revealing a tray of fountain drinks. I felt bad about making you wait, so I went ahead and grabbed these. You know, that's probably why we waited, right? Do I? I also love Elio's face. He's like a teddy bear. He had like a teddy bear like hat as well, but he gave that away to, so you know how like with some university they have like little kind of urban legends. So there's this one called the Coop at their university, and essentially you go there to make a wish, but you have to give something in return to kind of like, you know, balance stuff out. Like you want something, you gotta give something. So we each gave like an item of ours. I gave a bracelet. I think Percy gave his shirt. And at the end, Elio decided to give his hat simply because he didn't really have anything else to give. But yeah. So yeah, no, we're studying, I think, so you take a test at the beginning of the game and it gives you a month, which kind of describes your personality. So I got fall, which stated I was a very empathetic person. And if you look here at the information here, I did not know my compassion was maxed out. My compassion is maxed out. But yeah, my compassion is fully maxed out, followed by charisma, which is only here. And then my confidence is the least one, but like you build stuff with like the answers you give. These are the stats you have, and some answers that you like, some questions that you get, or like some text options that you get, you are what are the odds, I think. No, never mind, that's not it. It's just use of your stats. Ignore me. Use of your stats. It's not a. So it's like you get. How do I word this? I suck at explaining. So, for example, you have options, your choices, and based on some of the interactions, you sometimes have. It says here some interactions may involve hidden stat checks, and success or failure will impact the story you're playing through. So if you, for example, don't have enough, so for me, if I get something that has like compassion and I choose a compassionate answer, I'll definitely pass it because I have the requirements. I'll pass the check simply because I have the required compassion. But for example, if I had something that required confidence, and the confidence, for example, it needed to be higher, I'd fail that confidence check because my confidence isn't high enough. And you basically build that up. I think you get like a little boost on one of them based on the season you got. So compassion is for fall, I'm assuming, because that's what I got. I ended up taking the little personality test, and I'm a human. I'm a pre-law student. I'm studying like a humanities course, so I'm pre-law. Me and one of my friends in the game, studying law. And then I'm not even sure, I forgot what Deja was studying. From what I remember, Percy is studying biology with a minor in math, so he seems really smart, but he is also a very talented artist by the looks of it. Elio is studying astrophysics, but additionally to that, he's very athletic, he loves sports, and he loves food. So yeah, that's a little introduction to them. He raised his eyebrows innocently, then turned in a... Oh my god. Here we go. My issue, for people who don't know, is I stumble upon reading. I don't know why. I don't know why. I can read well. I am literate. It's just not when I stream. Okay. He raised his eyebrows innocently, then turned to examine Percy's contribution to the board. After a second, he lifted his free hand with a mischievous chuckle. You're missing a star here. Pressing his finger against the board, he left a small smudge near the end of the wishbone, grinning when Percy instantly groaned in frustration. No, oh, of course, okay, so I think Percy was doing constellation. Elio studies astrophysics, he knows about constellations. No, I was sure I had it. Gotta keep studying, bud. Grumbling, Percy swiped at the board with his chalk one last time, scribbling Elio's requested star into place. After some quick discussion, the three of you decided not to split up across multiple food lines. With the way the crowd was steadily growing, it was better yet something to bring back at all. Sounds like it's chili fries for everyone. You jabbed a thumb toward the burger place, and Elio bobbed up and down with evident cheer. You sure everyone else will be fine with it? Honestly, Cam. That's the name, Cam. Some grease would do some wonders for cheering Cam up. Asia might not want it as much, but I'll bring the rest back home. Sounds like we're golden. Do you mind if I head off a bit while you wait? What's up? You opened your mouth to parrot Elio, but stopped at the way Percy quirked an eyebrow at you. You got the funny feeling he was signaling you to play along. Okay. I've just gotta grab something. Can you two hold down the fort? Sure. You want your usual order? He nodded before he ran off further down the... What is he trying to do? You attempted to watch where he was going, but instead you turned to Elio and you realized he was still holding a tray full of drinks. You want me to hold that? I'm a big, strong boy. I'll be fine. I trust you with that. I trust that. You almost pouted at him for that, seeing through his thinly veiled attempt to keep your hands unburdened. If you were to take those drinks off his hands, you'd have to do so. Literally. Oh! Right, there's skill checks in this game, by the way. Working swiftly but carefully, you darted your hands out and latched onto the edges of the tray, lifting it from his grasp before you could even flinch. Yoink. I would never say that in real life. I'm kind of... I feel embarrassed saying that. Yoink. Hey. Working together with Elio, you compiled a list of orders to satisfy the whole group. In a blink, you were both outside, lingering obtrusively by the service window. Elio was the one who'd actually spoken at the register, rattling off item after item with no hesitation. You're impressed, not only by his memory, but also by the number of items in his own order. Now, it's not that I doubt you. You minced your words just a bit, looking down as you navigated around your real question. But if I say, please, will you let me carry half of those bags for you, for the sake of unsquished fries? He narrowed his eyes slightly at you, and broke into a confident, challenging grin. I'll settle for a third. How's that? Why are you trying to prove we know you're strong, we know you're athletic. Let me help you. Elio, relax. I mean, even if a lot of it's yours, it doesn't mean you have to carry it all, you know? Oh, I know what I'm about. Don't worry. Elio tapped a free hand against his chest lightly, a friendly thump-thump of his flattened fingers against the space under his collarbones. Like, oh! Okay. I shouldn't have done that. Never again, what the fuck? got a fast metabolism. For now, at least. But hey, that's all that matters. Right? I'm glad you're aware. Because a lot of people who say they have fast metabolisms, our metabolism slows down with age. Okay, maybe you have a really fast one and then it normalizes. But then at the end of the day, it still normalizes, you know? So don't think your fast metabolism will last forever. You know? You could expect that from him, at least. It's been obvious from your very first meeting that Elio lived the very peak of an active lifestyle with the appetite to match. Thinking back to how he was able to combine power and speed during that first ever volleyball game. If there was someone in the world who embodied the very concept of joie de vivre. Guys, I know I took French for a very long time, but my French actually is kind of ass. I understand basic French, to be honest, due to just remembering things here and there. I lived in Canada, for God's sake. Of course I would I kind of had to, we were taught French in school. I feel like, I don't know if it's like a must in all areas, but I lived in Ontario. We had to learn French at the school I went to, at least. That happy, energetic enjoyment of life, then it was him, without a doubt. Yo. Oops, 2 for 2. Now it's Percy's turn to startle you, as he reappeared with a bag of bottled drinks in hand. Got you a lemonade. Yo, appreciate it, man. No, look at them, bros. Now kiss. You were tempted to point out you already had drinks, but something about the happy tint to Elio's smile made you realize Percy had gone out of his way to stock up on purpose. Maybe lemonade was Elio's favorite? Oh, Percy, did you want to reward Elio? What? No. Why not? Because what are you, my pet? It's just lemonade. The service window slid open, and only by dint of standing a little closer did you get there before Elio. You and he split all the takeout bags between yourselves while Percy handled the drinks. We good to go? Yep. The thing about ordering so many chili fries was they got soggy fast. The 3 of you booked it out of the food court, arriving back at the green and entering the library in record time. You then crammed into the elevator, and in another few minutes you were admitted back into the 4th floor with a ding, hustling down the hallway to make your triumphant return. Sorry we took so long. You stopped short. Oh, did they dip? Where'd everyone go? You considered asking where they were in the group chat, but any message with a timestamp would serve as proof of how late you'd return to the room yourselves. There was little else to do but retake your seats at the table. Foods and drinks were set aside, except for some chili fries. The 3 of you deserved to enjoy at least one serving while it was hot. Where do you think they went? You gestured to Deja, Cameron, and Jamie's empty chairs with a fry, and Elio mumbled contemplatively. What the fuck? I can't speak English. Off to rob a bank, maybe? Oh, absolutely. Wherever they went, I'm just surprised Jamie went along. Look, he left his book behind. Oh god, you're right. Alien abduction? Damn. Is it that bad for Jamie? So yeah, Jamie is the third romance option that you can go for. He seems to be really well known. He's a baker. He bakes a lot. He's really talented at it. No one knows what he's studying. He's in his last year as well of university. And yeah, he keeps to himself because he is well known around university. We don't know much about Jamie yet to really know. All of a sudden now though, we know Percy's full name is, I forgot his surname, but Perseus. So there's that. Didn't have to hypothesize for too long. Just as you reached to wipe up some of the condensation from the drink tray, the keypad beeped rapidly and the door opened. Oh hey, you're back. Cameron bounced back into the room looking remarkably cheerful. Oh, they look happy. Deja and Jamie trailed in after, still caught in the tail end of a conversation and in relatively high spirits as well from a glance. Well, you sure took a long time wherever you were. Leaning back in his seat, Percy flicked a wrist across at the fries of your labor. Where have you been while we were working hard, Now your drinks are lukewarm. Forget the drinks for a second. Where's Elio's hat? My hat is taking a study break. Okay. And to answer your question, I had an SGB thing come up and Cam and Jamie tagged along for some fresh air. Mm-hmm. Nothing else to it. That sounds fake as fuck. Y'all are lying. I can see it. But that's Jamie. He's a pretty boy. Jamie's lilting drawl had the faintest trace of humor to it as he picked through the nearest bag of food. He withdrew without choosing anything, though he gestured to the assembled drinks next. What did you get? Lukewarm drinks or no, your offerings were still appreciated. Cameron snagged their juice, and you found the drink you'd gotten for Deja and passed it over. Oh, you remembered. As she reached for it. Ooh. You realized your mistake. The drinks were warmer, but they were not warm enough to indicate you'd been in the study room for longer than 15 minutes. You weren't about to snatch a drink out of Deja Lamar's hand. Lamar, is that how you pronounce her name? Lamar? So all you could do was smile at her, and she looked down, watched a bead of condensation roll over her thumb, and looked back at you. Deja, please. Deja, please. You felt a bead of sweat on your neck and deflected at once, turning aside to seek a helping hand from your co-conspirators. So, Percy, pass me a lemonade? Yeah, catch. Deja, please. Your belated and impromptu lunch passed in a flash. After the crumbs and crumpled napkins were swept away, all that was left was to get back to studying. Just like how Deja had put it when you first arrived, today was a long haul. Set aside to wrestle through the last of your exam prep. Man, I left all the hard questions for last. This sucks. Cameron's low whine prompted a few sympathetic mutters from the room. I wouldn't even know what to say. I'd just be like, yeah, that does suck. Oh well, nothing to do now but do the questions, you know? Even after running off for as long as you had to admit spending the rest of the day indoors wasn't appealing. Could anyone really blame you if you slipped your phone out for one last distraction? You found a candid angle and pressed the shutter button before anyone noticed. Aww. So that's Cameron, and I'm assuming that's Percy? I don't know if Percy- I think Percy has nail polish. He's the only one with like skin like that. Skin that light, and Jamie doesn't wear nail polish, I'm sure of it. Whoa, hey, I wasn't ready. Don't mind me, it just felt like a good moment. Immortalizing our collective torment? How dastardly. Shut up, you cute boy. Hey, it's not that bad, is it? At least we'll- No, it's not. No, that wasn't Cameron. That was Elio. Cameron has a gray sweater on. They have a gray sweater. At least we'll have something to compare to when we're finally past exams. He was right. You did have a deadline to keep, but at least you had a keepsake now, capturing how exactly you'd be getting there on film. I was saying it correctly. Oh, okay, message time. Sure, I guess. It'll be cool. I went last year with buddies from class. You'll love it. 92-minute drink run. Fuck y'all. Were we gone that long? They changed the fucking name of the group chat. So we have a group chat with all of them. So at first it was just Cam, Deja, and I, but then we met Elio, Percy, and Jamie on the same day. So, and they're friends. They all live together. So it just became it went from like a 3er group to like a 6er group. And they've just been hanging out this whole time, which I love. And when I played on Friday, I felt so much nostalgia because it reminded me of my uni time. And I thought like it was really fitting because I was in my second, like I'd say my best year was my second year of uni. First year, it's kind of like, you know, you're getting to know everything. Everything's super exciting. Like everyone says like live your best life in uni. And I would say I definitely I lived as much as I could. And I enjoyed my time in uni. It was, yeah, I think for me, it's weird to say second year was probably the worst and the best year. Worst because a lot happened. And to be fair, my mental health was in the pits during my second year of uni. But it was also the time where I did so much with friends. I made so many friends. A group of us like took a bus out of town to this like little like little port town that had an arcade, and it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed myself like a lot. And just this whole like meeting people and hanging out, and suddenly you have this group chat and all that. It just felt so like it was very reminiscent of how second year was to me. Third year, we didn't really get that much into third year. Third year was very mellow, and COVID happened for me during my last year. So I think from February, because school started in September, so we got like, yeah, maybe half the year, and then the last half, like after New Year's, unfortunately, just a lot of things got canceled because of COVID, and we had things online from then on out. It was just eh, you know, because from around February till June, I was essentially stuck in my housing. All of us were, because school was like in-person classes were canceled. Everything was now online, and it just kind of sucked ass. I feel like my third year of uni was kind of like lackluster because of it. I was really looking forward to that last year, to essentially, yeah, spend my last year with people I care about. But yeah, no, for me, second year was just that year for me. I really enjoyed it a lot. So just this kind of just gave me that hit of nostalgia, and it made me really happy. But yeah. Okay, sure, I guess it'll be cool. I went last year with buddies from class. You'll love it. Yeah, it was super cool. Shibi does a great job. You guys still have to pay for oh, wait, no, we already did this. You already read this. Oh, yeah, okay. Anyone up for another study session? You abandoned me for chili cheese fries, and we do it again. Oh, he drew a cat. Cat. Great job, buddy. Yeah, I like it. The shapes are fun. It's eclectic. I like it, Picasso. Sure. It's modern art, Deja. You wouldn't understand. Yeah, you're right. I don't understand. Cute squirrel. Oh god, that's a cat. Maybe it could use some work. No, it's perfect already. I do like Jamie. He's dry, but he's funny, you know? You make me pull a camera. Yeah, Jamie's right. We do need to study more. Don't make me the bearer of bad You are the bearer of bad news. First of all, when did you turn into such a Deja? Damn. I love this. Guys, I want more friends. Ah. Okay, what's this? What's this one now? Anyone who wants a cinnamon roll, come by. It's 2 a.m. Yeah, and you want a cinnamon roll or not? Yes, on my way. Caveat, we don't have icing yet. It needs powdered sugar for it, but all we have is granulated. So anyone who comes, please be aware you literally have to hand grind your own icing sugar. Fuck, you know. Oh my god. Uni, man. Seems so fun. Okay, that's all. Next event. Are you sure this is a demo? Are you sure? Deja, you're going to break your pen if you keep doing that. Click. Clack. It was very expensive, thanks. And with that, the onslaught on your waning attention span ended. Deja set her pen down alongside all its well-used brethren. By now, the table was covered by endless papers, plans, textbooks, and notes, though there was, of course, still room for Deja's stationery. It had been hours since you arrived at the study room. The level of mess was only to be expected, and you had little doubts any of the students elsewhere in the library had it any different. After all, it was late. Anyone who was still here was seriously cramming. For all your best efforts, even when you and the defatchable, they use such, okay, before someone's like, the words aren't even that big, you're just stupid, your mother. Second of all, I'm aware I need to read more books, okay? Leave me alone. Deja Lamar were struggling to keep the fatchable. Deja Lamar were struggling to keep the whole semester's materials in your heads. Exams were getting closer and the pressure was only getting higher. Even you had to knuckle down and get some extra hours in if you want to keep your sweet, sweet grade point average. Cameron's knowledge was an added bonus, but even now you'd had to ask them to repeat what they said 3 times and they were starting to lose track of what they were trying to explain. The second hand ticked on and Deja punctured the hour, 1 a.m. with a final sigh. Punctuated. Okay, final stretch. We don't have much time left in here, and so we should... The fuck? The hell are they doing in there? Deja's voice veered towards indignance, and Cameron cast a sideways glance at the wall, unconsciously flicking a flashcard with one hand. Mr. Gorbachev's tearing it down, I guess. Honestly, we invited them so that they could study and then they did Percy, Elio, and Jamie things instead. When you put it that way, I suppose I could just be glad they're not halfway across campus looking for food. That was one thing. That was one time, Deja. It had originally been 6 of you in the study room until a certain troublemaking is crazy because Jamie doesn't seem like it, but I guess he's a lot more cheekier than you make him out to be. Until a certain troublemaking trio had been kicked out for being too distracting. A third impact thudded against the wall and Deja stood. Striding over, she knocked sharply on the whiteboard, 4 percussive raps, after which the commotion next door went abruptly quiet. After a beat, a muffled voice offered a meek apology. Elliot sounded like. Honestly, I still can't believe Quinn offered for them to join her study room. Well, Elio did find her purse earlier. It's a happy coincidence, isn't it? It's a good thing he did. I literally cannot imagine her without it. Deja sighed lightly, returning to her seat with a wry smile. Quinn was a member of SGB, and according to Deja, her exuberance was a formidable thing to behold. She texted me about 10 times in a row when she lost it, and then she texted me another full essay about how I could ignore all of her messages since she had it back. That's some serious luck on Ilya's part. She left a couple of hours ago, didn't she? So they've just basically had a free study room to themselves since then. After another thud, Deja sighed, lifting her glasses to peer at the clock mounted on the wall. I don't think we're getting anything else done. You might as well call it a night unless anyone has any objections. None? You're honestly none. Let's go. Tears formed at the corner of their eyes as Cameron yawned again. Papers and notes shuffled together, pens clicked as they were tossed into bags, and bit by bit, the 3 of you cleaned up. Deja was next to yawn, and it was but a matter of time before you took your turn. I could stay up. Oh, wait. No, yeah, I was only a little tired. I'm a night owl before anyone comes at me. I am not a morning person, but I'm also kind of not a night person. Like, I have my limits, but then also, I'm not a midday person. I'm just not a day person. If I could sleep all day, I probably would. Okay. If you were tired now, it was only because you'd been studying for too long. You typically stayed up later than Deja, and sometimes you rose with the sun, because you'd stayed up the entire night before. None from me. I need to think about something other than law. You staying over tonight, Cameron? Yuri cleaned up the couch last night, so we should be good to go. Yeah. Their hands stalled for a moment before they clasped their book bag shut. The silence hung in the air for a beat as they considered their words. Right as you and Deja were finished packing your things, Cameron raised their head with a wiggle waggle of their eyebrows. Before we head back, is anyone maybe a little hungry? And food! I always have time for food. When I say extra, you say fries. Extra fries! Alright. Extra fries first then. Shrugging her bag over her shoulder, Deja made for the door. I think we definitely deserve a treat after... What the fuck are they doing? After all our hard work. You don't mind driving this late, do you? But of course I'll drive, my lady and my queen. What say you? That sounds amazing. Your Grace. Oh, I'm a duke. Might as well remind them they're in the library while I'm at it. Why don't we invite them? They were losing steam over there anyways, just like you had. The car had plenty of space for 3 more people. Why didn't I think of that? Yeah, let's do. I'm doing it for one person. I love Jamie and Elio. Amazing, great friends. I have my eye on one person. Oh sure, if you're both on board. In the hall, Cam bounced up to the neighboring room's door, their enthusiasm visibly flagged as they lifted a hand to knock. You saw some of the usual shyness coming back, but you hoped that they were comfortable enough with the boys at this point to be a little bit brave. After stealing their nerves, they confidently knocked. The jittery energy instead transplanted itself to their feet, and you watched as they bobbed back and forth on their heels. There was movement on the other side of the frosted window, and Ilio appeared at the door, peeking through with a grin as he perched a hand on his hip. Hey, what's up, Cameron? From behind him, Percy suppressed a giggle, and Jamie muttered something faintly in his light musical timbre. They weren't visible, but you could hear the clatter of a few binders being hastily pushed back and forth. You three wanna come get some food with us? The library's closing soon, so we're about to head out. I've got room in my car if you want to join. Seriously? Awesome. Yeah, we're totally down. Yeah. Oh, I get Cam though. I am honestly a very shy person, and depending on the people I'm with, it's like I can be really talkative. Again, it really depends on the person I'm with, but especially if it's like a group of people that I don't really know, I tend to get super shy and quiet like Cameron does, and I kind of shirk back and hope that my more extroverted and outgoing friends are able to kind of lead on, and I'll join in maybe. There are a lot of people who have told me that I'm really, really quiet, and at some point it starts getting really annoying because they're like, oh, you're kind of quiet, aren't you? And I'm like, I'm aware I'm quiet, but now you're just making it awkward for me and putting me like in a weird spot because you've now actively opened your mouth to point it out. I'd say, like, rather than state the obvious, I'd honestly prefer, like, let's start a conversation about something, or like but if I'm told that, I kind of shy more back because then like I'm like, yeah, now I don't even know what to say, and now I'm just more quiet, and that's all you know me as. But again, it really depends on the person. There are people who I'm really close with, and I don't know how to fucking shut up. I yap. And I think streaming is very similar to that because I'm in a place of comfort. So I'm able to like talk and like do stuff without any problem. Yeah. Because like there was an instant where I was like really, really annoyed. And I have I've been told I have a resting bitch face. That's just how I am. I swear I can be nice. And there's this one person like at a Christmas party, like was on my trip at the Christmas party we were at, was essentially saying like, oh, like you look tired, like, oh no, wake up, oh my god, drink more. And I'm like, I'm not tired, this is literally my face, and you're pissing me off, being like, oh, you're kind of quiet. And like my sister, so my sister was there as well, being like, yeah, I'd love to go out. It's like, yeah, me and my sister would love to. And it's like, but your sister doesn't look like she would go out, like she looks tired. And I'm like, for fuck's sakes, bitch. I'm not tired. It is my face. The reason why I'm not talking right now is because I don't want to talk to you. Because if all you're gonna say is the same fucking four, like 3-4 words, being like, you look tired, you look so tired. Bro, if that's the only fucking words in your vocabulary, I'm not gonna fucking, like, I'm not gonna entertain it. Pick up a book. Vocabulary worse than mine. Jesus fucking Christ. Pissed me off. Elio disappeared back into the room, presumably to herd his boys into collecting their things. Milling around, Cameron rejoined you and Deja with a small nervous smile. They lifted a tentative thumbs up, with each of you returning with varying enthusiasm. Bolstered, they let a little peppiness back into their step, satisfied with how they handled the invitation. But before you could get very far, the door opened again and Ilio called after the three of you in a hushed whisper. Wait, where are we meeting you guys? In the parking lot out front, at Cameron's car, SUV. It's gray on the outside and has a dent on the rear bumper. We could text you if that helps. Got it. See you guys in a bit. Shh. Ooh, Ilio. Down in the parking lot, the three of you idled inside the beloved, trusty, time-tested Camobile. Name still pending, because Cameron kept changing their mind on whether it was adequately cool. Deja taking shotgun. Camobile kind of rolls off the tongue, but I like El Camarón. It's the original. Was there something wrong with it calling it El Camarón? Camarón? Technically, I mean, it's shrimp. We named my SUV shrimp. That's cute! El Camarón. That's cute. I love shrimp. I'll eat it. Yes, but that's because it sounds very much like your name and makes us laugh. You could retain names, like, what if you called it Deja? If I named it after you, Yuri, it'd be like you're always with me. Cameron is so freaking cute. I can't stop it. I want to squish your cheeks. They're so cute. Could lead to some pretty awkward misunderstandings, like you'd have to go fill up Yuri. Ooh. Deja. You're right. Rescinded. Completely forgotten. Bye-bye. Wow, feels like we just finished a soccer game or something. Hey, I don't drive a soccer mom. You kind of do. An SUV, I feel like, is a soccer mom car. Percy laughed, waving as he led the way over from the library doors. After defending their beloved SUV, Cameron twisted around to check the back seats, making sure nothing was in the way before they hit the door button. As the side door slid open, Percy what the fuck is he doing? Percy showed up to give the Camobile a gentle pat on the side, leaning into the frame as if he were a used car salesman. Once the interior was visible, he whistled, tipping his head in for sweet ride. Do you ever have trouble finding parking on campus? Honestly, I wouldn't mind driving an SUV. Like, you could fit so many of your friends in there and go on like a little road trip to like the town over. Like, I feel like parking would be very difficult to find, but I would fuck with driving an SUV all the time, but I can turn any compact parking spot into a normal one if I really try. Sorry if we kept you guys waiting. Nah, we weren't waiting that long. Hop in. That seat's not taking, is it? Because it is now. Yes! Deftly weaving past his roommates, Percy hopped inside, throwing himself into the seat next to you without a second's hesitation. Maybe he just wanted the legroom or he wanted a better vantage point. But still, you felt a secretive thrill at how he'd chosen to sit next to you because, yes, make yourself comfy. You know, I think I will. I should have tripped you. Elio snickered, shaking his head as he slipped by toward the back row. His gaze met yours and he gave a playful roll of his eyes as if to say that Perky? Who the fuck is Perky? As if that... As if to say that Percy just couldn't help himself. As seatbelts clicked in a chorus, Cam started the engine and pulled out of the parking lot. Deja's phone screen lit up from the passenger seat as she pulled up the playlist that she, and Cam had put together. It was a jumble of whatever songs you each liked, and after Deja hit the shuffle button, a familiar track began playing from the stereo. Hey, Slay. An energetic guitar An energetic guitar line came from the speakers, soon to be joined by a warm driving beat. This is a cute one. Feels kind of alt-rock. It sounds fun. The singer has a really clear voice. How do you tell alt-rock apart from rock anyway? Hello? Oh my god. Thank you for reminding me. I don't have my water bottle. Oh my god. No, my water's empty. All right. First of all, thank you for the follow, Vale. I hope you're well. Thank you for the hydrate bite. I need to refill my water bottle. Give me 10 seconds. That was really quick. Also, I hope you're having a good morning, afternoon, evening, or night, Vale. I hope you're doing well. Little quick introduction. I am playing a visual novel called Keyframes, and it's like a dating visual novel. You're a university student, giving very slice of life-esque. The two characters you already see, these are two of the three options. Not the one I'm currently going for, but they're still cute. They're still cute. You'll see the one that I'm interested in. His name is Percy. So, quick introduction. This is Jamie. This is Elio. They're both sweethearts. Fluffy. Like, he's like a teddy bear. Jamie's just a pretty boy. But you'll see the one I'm going for. Okay. Not long enough, probably. Personally, your favorite genre to listen to was... I can choose what more than one? Yes! Okay. I'm an R&B girly. Like, that is my number one. But I do like rock. I like K-pop as well. K-pop has, like, nice music. So does lo-fi. Pop? And I like hip-hop as well. I don't mind metal either. I don't think I've listened to like the other ones enough to really have like a full opinion, but these, I like all of these. You had your interests as Cam and Deja had theirs. Lucky for you, they seemed impartial to whatever was playing. The track was one that you added to the list, titled Another Day. The track currently playing wasn't one of your favorite tunes, but maybe the next one would be. So where is it that we're going? Okay, so this one is Cameron, or Cam. They are a friend. I don't know if they're a romance option, but I love them to pieces. They're so sweet. They're such a sweetheart. They're a shy cutie. Extra fries. And that's Deja, our other bestie. She's so pretty. It's a vegan diner, but they've got loads of great options. And they're probably the only joint around that fries their potatoes in sunflower oil. Jamie made a thoughtful sound, his own phone screen lighting up as he went to search the place up himself. After a beat, Percy, that is my interest, leans backward to look as well, his neck craning as he squinted at the screen. That's Percy. He's a character that you actually initially first meet, and I don't know, something about it just like kind of clicked with me, and I'm like, oh, I think it's his personality. I think like his personality is just like my my type essentially. I feel like I have a type when it comes to people that I'm like, ooh, them. For example, with other visual novels, we have A Date with Death. Casper is my baby girl. Don't even get me started. I love Casper to pieces. I'm trying to think of other visual novels that I played. I need to play more visual novels. I really need to play more visual novels, honestly. So like if you have any like suggestions, I'm listening. I'm listening. Okay. Wow, I spent so much time talking, yapping, and not making sense that the song's already over. What are you feeling? Something not fried, preferably. From a place called Extra Fries. I have tried A Date with Death. I love it. I loved it. Casper is. I'm so excited for A Date with Death 2 to come out. Don't even get me started. I am so excited. But I love Casper. I I played it on stream like some time ago. Loved it too, but I loved playing it so much. Don't don't even. I could go on and yap about it. There's so many. There's just I've seen like a list. There's like a list of like yandere visual novels that are pretty popular. I can't speak. Pretty popular. And I want to give that a try and see how that goes. I would totally, but like Date with Death, I would play it over and over just for Casper. That boy. I can't. But yeah, I'm super excited to see A Date with Death 2. Um I'm not too sure how I feel about the two options. Like the one of them, I forgot his number, but he's the one you meet in the DLC of A Date with Death. He seems to be a romance option. Yeah, like with A Date with Death 2, you're actually a new Reaper. You're not a human. You're like a Reaper that was just born. So I'm really curious to see how that story is gonna go. Mm-mm. That salad doesn't look bad though, unless you want a club. If we can ask them to go light on the mayonnaise, I'd be fine with that. Wait, they serve breakfast all day? How about waffles? Ooh, I love waffles. I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think. Do I like pancake? I like pancakes, but I just find it so odd. I find it funny that essentially waffles and pancakes have the same ingredients, but they taste completely different because of how they're made. I don't know. I don't know what explains it, but I don't know. I prefer the taste of waffles, I think. But I love crepes. I'm just yapping now. I'll be quiet. I'll read. I'll continue reading. Boy, do they have waffles. Cameron's cheerful exclamation elicited a few laughs from around the car, and Deja glanced at Elio in the rearview mirror. Do you know what you want, or is it the same as what they're getting? Hmm? Oh, I'll figure it out in a bit. They just usually split in order. Oh, they share? And then you have freaking Elio, who loves, like, mind you, it makes sense. This guy is a freaking, like, he is athletic. He is like, an athletic junkie, which makes sense as to what he would eat so much. I'm just looking in the background. I love how Cam's car I love how it looks. I think it looks so cute. And it just makes me think I wouldn't mind driving an SUV. Wait, let me look at SUV like images quickly. Yeah, no, I'd be down to drive an SUV. Like like a seven seater? I'd be so down. Yeah, I think that, see, now I've like kind of have in mind because I would love to take a group of friends and go on on like little road trips. I think that'd be so fun. Yeah, I'm a food taster. You know how many people have tried to poison this guy? 0 people have tried to poison me, unless you count the time you got us all to eat month-old pasta. Month-old pasta, Percy. That is disgusting. Percy, what the fuck? In my defense, I thought it was in the freezer for most of that month. If it's in the freezer, then I completely understand. But if it was in the fridge, worst of all, if it was outside. If it was outside, I'm sure it would have had like mold by then. But if it was in the fridge, 1 month is still dastardly. There would have been mold on it. Unless like the sauce kind of hid the mold. But Percy, you're so cute, but like I don't know what to do with you. Oh my god. So then, who got poisoned? Me, obviously. But Percy had it way worse. My punishment was swift and severe. I was fine. Of course, this man has a steel stomach. Why am I not surprised? Honestly, sharing food at Extra Fries isn't a bad idea. The portions can get pretty generous. I don't mind sharing food. I think it depends on the person and depends on the portion. If the portions are huge, we will share, absolutely. If the portions are normal, you get a bite. A small bite. Because let me eat. Plus, you get to try more things if you're just passing everything around. Yep, we usually get 3 different meals, then swap whatever you want to try. Sounds like the best case scenario for you, Jamie. Not that I need that much anyway. You're right, you eat like a bird, dude. But actually, have you decided what you think about American food yet? Where is he from? Because, is he French? Because Jamie did have like a bit of an accent, but or is he like Dutch? I don't know. I don't know. He's tall. He's blonde. So in my head, I was like, is he Dutch? I'm still thinking. You've been thinking about it for literally as long as we've known you. You have a lot of food. I have plenty to catch up on. Is there anything you like so far? Some things here and there. It really depend. That's not an answer, Jamie. Credit to him. He tries all sorts of stuff. It's just if he doesn't like it, he's not going to make himself finish it. He's the opposite of me. Even if I don't like that, like I always have a story in mind when it comes to this, like the specific story. If I don't like something, I will still force myself to eat it, even no matter how disgusting it is, because I don't like wasting food. And I also like to get my money's worth of food. There was one time I went to, the story was like, there was one time I went to a friend's, birthday party. She invited me to like this family thing, and it was like, they were Italian, so they booked like a table at an Italian restaurant, and the entree was ravioli, like 1 piece of ravioli. I took a bite. I usually really like ravioli, so I was excited. I was disgusted. It was so bad. I kind of just like held it in my mouth. It was honestly just that bad, but I also felt really bad for like essentially spitting it out. So I swallowed it. And what I proceeded to do was finish that ravioli because it was a really big piece of ravioli. Typically would have probably taken me between like maybe like 4 or 5 bites to eat. I finished that ravioli in 1 single bite, simply because I did not want to be, I didn't want to have to take more than another, like more than one other bite. And I ate it. And they I think it was either her dad or her mom who was like, "Oh my god, did you like it? Do you want another one?" And I'm like, "I'm okay, thank you. I'm saving my stomach for the main dish." It was bad. It was really, really bad. It was bad. You make me sound like a child. Yes, you're my little guy. Well, you can check diner food off the list tonight. Get ready for some good old not home cooking. With a bunch of fries on the side. Hear that? I don't think you're escaping the fried food anytime soon, man. This late at night's the perfect hour. Honestly, no, late night, especially, okay, this may sound like, you know, like really, you know, but after like you've drank or like if you've been out with your food, fried food out with your food. What the fuck? Out with your friends. Eating something fried hits different. Like getting like a kebab or like getting like a burger or pizza, it just hits different. I agree. Or we could get stuffed peppers. That's something you'd make at home. That's not something you'd eat out. It's basically tuna melt and a bell pepper, or I guess it'd be fake tuna, but anyway, remember that sandwich place from a while ago? Looks like it's like that. No, perhaps not then. Yeah, that is kind of sweet. It's just easier all around. He only takes like 2 bites before he's done, so for me it's practically just ordering a meal, same as usual. Percy's tastes match mine more often, so he lets me order with him. I used to try more dishes with Elio, but I've had some hits and a lot of misses, admittedly. It's not your fault, I just don't like gravy the way you do. I do love gravy, and I'm proud of it. I don't want to hear smack from a guy whose country invented banana curry pizza. What the fuck? Oh, he's Swedish! I was close enough. I was close, okay? You know, the Netherlands isn't that far from Sweden. You know? I refuse to be held accountable, but curry what? Wait, I need to look at the logs because what? Pizza? Curry banana curry pizza sounds diabolical, Percy, Jamie, I don't see, this is, y'all see what my mind's on? I refuse to be held accountable for Sweden's crimes against food. Alright, well, you three are the experts. What's your go-to order? I do happen to like their stuffed peppers or their grain bowls. You liked one of those salads though, right? The chopped one? Yeah, but I'm more into the wedge salad right now. They started using this new vegan cheese and it makes it way tastier. There's sofritas burritos. Super good. And they give you an avocado salsa for them. The paninis are I love paninis. The paninis are solid options too. There's also the regular, which would be, it's whatever Camilla and her boys tell us it is. You just give her an idea of what you're looking for and she decides what your regular is. It's a little Russian roulette, but she's usually pretty accurate when it comes to finding something you'll like. I have a feeling I'll get along with whoever Camilla is. Oh, you've gotta. She won't feed you if you don't. The Camobile lurched gently to one side as Cameron turned, and as yellow streetlights flickered over the car one by one, Percy raised a question. By the way, why do these menus items all have such weird names? Weird? Weird like how? Like here, this section calls them overhead pressed paninis. What's the overhead mean? A panini served overhead? A pie? This sundae has bananas in it, apparently, or perhaps bro-nanas. I didn't even read that correctly. Or perhaps that's part's a typo. Oh, don't worry about that. They just love to have a little fun with the menu, that's all.
The conversation hit a quiet spot as the boys focused briefly on getting their orders figured out. He passed the short interlude by staring out the window, watching the few other cars that were out at this hour. One by one, they peeled off in different directions, headed to night shifts, maybe, or on their way home instead. Hey, I'm digging this track. What's it called? Keep It Moving. You like it? Yeah, it's dope. Mellow, too. Is this the lo-fi? Yeah. Elio's head bobbed into the beat, managing to look enthusiastic even as the slower paced rhythm made him drum slower than usual on his knees. Yeah, that backbeat's nice, or you can go halftime, focus on the front line. He trailed off, but not because he was distracted. Instead, as he focused more on the melody, he seemed to wiggle a little more in his seat, letting the rhythm take firmer hold. Asia's eyes glinted with amusement in the rear view as she glimpsed his movements. I've always considered it a pretty laid-back song. Is it that good for dancing? It depends! What does this man not do? So anything movement-wise. So he dances, which is, I think, is like so cool. I think for like a dance like this, you can come up with a choreography for this. Yeah, no, you could. Hands down. I can think of some simpler routines right away, but simple doesn't mean slow. I'll send it to you then. It's one of her favorites. Keep it moving, keep it moving. Thanks, and then I'll send it to you too, Purse. Sure. Another R&B fan? Oh, this is R&B! Is this R&B? Oh nah, Percy's playlist is just an all-consuming black hole. Look, the discover button, that's me, to be honest. That's how I find a lot of songs. I either find them on TikTok and I'm like, oh my god, what is this? I need this on my playlist. I have like, what I do is I have this, I've been doing this for a really long time. Since I was like a young teenager, since I was like 14. I was a wee little baby. I started making playlists every year. And then from like January 1st of the next year, I would start a new playlist. So with that, I have so many different playlists currently. I'm not gonna say how many because I'm not trying to, y'all ain't gonna know how old I am. I'm old enough, that's all you need to know. But I'm not hag level yet. I'm not hag level yet. But I'm an adult. Y'all, okay, so like I'm in my 20s. That's all you guys need to know. And yeah, I make a playlist every year. So I started one this year. Like it's been 12 days since it's been 12 days since the new year. 12 days. So I don't have that many songs yet. Last year, I think I had like give or take 700 songs on my playlist. That's honestly the most songs I've had on this play. Like I have other playlists that are just like vibe wise. Like I give it names just for vibes. So like if I want like, you know, like a bad bitch playlist, or if I want like a mellow like calm playlist, I have one for like classical music. I have one for like, you know, those really old school music from like the 40s, the 50s, where they had that like transatlantic like voice, like the singing voice. I really like that. Like the ones you'd find in like really old movies. I have that. But then I have this one for like then I have like a one for every year, and I just pack all the songs that I like in it, and then if I think it fits in a vibe, like into the vibes of one of my other like playlists, I'll put it in there as well. So like if I feel like listening to one of those vibey playlists and play them, I'll probably hear one of the songs I have in my yearly playlist. I don't know if that makes sense. But yeah, like that's what I do with my music. That was me drinking water. Stay hydrated, people. Yes, but why not organize your music even a little? Because it's all... Oh, so he just packs it. My throat just made a crazy sound. I really hope that wasn't picked up. So he just throws everything into one playlist. Now, I like to divide my playlists, as I said, like into vibes, but then I also have like a separate folder for all my like playlists for every year. because it's all music to me. Everything's fair game. Everything? No way. Even country? Everyone's gotta ask about country. Listen, it's not just about trucks or patriotism. The fun country songs are about stabbing I swear I know how to speak English. Stabbing adulterous husbands, or about wheat fields. Yeah, I don't mind. Like, I think the hate on, like, country, in my opinion, is very overhated. As I say, like, I like to say I do listen to everything. Obviously, I, like, there are gonna be songs I don't like, but I don't hate on all genres. Country is just one of the genres I just don't actively listen to. But if I find like a country song that I'm like, yo, this slaps, like I'm doing my stank face. Why did I whistle? Like, why did I whistle while saying that ass? Anyways, then yeah, it's like I will add songs to my playlist, like if I like it, regardless of genre. So Percy, we're kindred spirits. There's variety. I did like the one you showed me the other day with the violin in the chorus. You too, not really. I'm most familiar with Swedish pop, but it's not really my favorite. I'll usually listen to whatever Ilio and Percy want to play at home. Okay, well, Percy listens to everything, but what does Ilio listen to? Edgier songs? Really? I have layers too, Deja. I wonder if, like, if I end up with, one of the other, like, if I end up with, like, Percy, for example, do they intermingle around, like, between themselves as well? Because I can see Deja and Elio getting together, and Cameron and, Jamie. But again, like, I don't know their sexual orientations. I'm assuming based on the fact that your character can just be like any gender, like whatsoever. I can only assume that Percy, Jamie, and Elio are pansexual. But I don't know the orientation of Deja or Cameron, so. Elio beamed, grinning from ear to ear. I need to charge my phone, by the way. It just popped up saying like 20% of battery left. And I'm like, fuck you, phone. I can't help that VTube Studio takes so much battery. As long as my phone doesn't heat. The good thing is my phone doesn't heat up. I think like anything under the iPhone 10, they said for VTube Studio, like don't, or else it's just gonna heat up like crazy and you need to get a cooler. Which is cool. I'm just gonna quickly grab my phone charger. Gotta make sure that like whilst it's on charge, it's still okay. I need to like adjust my phone slightly. Okay.
Is this okay? Am I still heard properly? Give me a second. I'm just gonna like randomly speak so to see that I can still be heard. I can still be heard. Now just to make sure that my tracking's okay. I think my tracking's okay. I think we're okay. 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 All right. Mostly my folks raised me on rock, but he has mixtapes, actual cassettes. But it's also a lot of pop these days for practice, or hip hop or K-pop. Okay, so Ilio and I think, have really good, like, we have the most similar tastes. We like R&B, we like hip hop, we like pop. I like K-pop as well. Like, I'm not gonna be one of those people who are gonna be like, ew, K-pop. At the end of the day, music is music, regardless of like where it's from. If you can listen to French music, like if you're from a like English speaking Western country and you listen to French music, Spanish music, listen to Norwegian music, Hungarian music, anything, like, I don't understand why the line is drawn at music from Japan or music from Korea. At the end of the day, it's music. I think people need to calm down with like calling people who listen to it cringe and calling the actual artists cringe, because at the end of the day they still make music. Whilst yes, it's more leaning towards idol culture, not even leaning, it is idol culture, which is completely different like than the normal pop scene. I get it, but also let people like what they like. Let's not be judgmental. That's doing too much, and we don't do that. We don't do that. Okay? Okay? Okay. K-pop, what groups do you like? Lots of the early ones from the 2010s. They're New Denim? Fuck off. Are you talking about New Jeans? Is that a fucking... Is that a Ain't no way. This is a freaking tribute to New Jeans. Get out. Shut the front door. Stop. Really? New Jeans. Fuck, their latest single? Super High? Super Shy? You're not... first of all, I am going to at the fuck out of the creators of this game, because the New Jeans, Super Shy, Elio is a man of my heart, to be honest. Elio is me, except I'm not athletic. I like a lot of food. I don't have a high metabolism though. He likes the same music as me. Like, Elio is literally just me, and I love him. I kind of like everything too, except country and metal. Nothing against people who do like those though, but I just can't. Right as the last few notes of the song played, a haze of pink and blue lights signaled your arrival at the Extra Fries parking lot. Here we are. The Camobile rolled into a spot near the front windows, and as Cameron parked, he turned a coy look on the newcomers in the back. This is not merely someone having fun with the menu. It's a themed diner. It's so neon. With a chuckle, Cameron pressed the door button, and the side door slid back to afford a full view of Extra Fries in all her brightly lit glory. Even this late, the retro mom and pop diner bustled with activity. A waiter passed by the window at a disconcerting speed, turning their head at the last second to wave as they recognized the car. Wait till we're inside. We've been saving the best info about this place the whole way over. The parking lot was quiet as you filed out of the car and over to the doors. Once you stepped in, though, you instantly heard the hum of neon, as well as the persistent sizzle of food from the expansive kitchen. Instantly, the boy's eyes went up to the literal barbells mounted on the wall. I think Elio should do whatever challenge that is. I think he can win.
Then they went down to the waitstaff who were helping customers at the far side of the room. Every single staff member was very, very muscular. This is... How have I never heard of this place? Yeah, I feel like this is Elio's place. Elio, you'd fit right in. I think his biceps are bigger than my head. Elio mumbled his last sentence before putting on a bright smile, preparing to greet the waiter who was rolling over to greet you. A wide-shouldered young man around your age with dark hair and an easy smile. The wheels of his skates were brightly teal, contrasting sharply with the tiled flooring as he slid to a practice stop in front of you. I feel like that would be such a cool job, but I'm not muscular, but that'd be such a cool job to have. Cam, Deja, Yuri, where have you been? I saw you guys pull in. And you brought friends. Immediately, he stuck a hand out, moving down the line for 3 handshakes in quick succession. You call me Nikki, K. You're here with these 3, so I'm assuming you know what's up. What's up? With the whole place. But my aunt's gonna kill me anyway if I don't give you the full pitch. So, welcome to Extra Fries, where you have to exercise for the extra fries. You have to work out. Oh, so you're like burning calories. You're essentially almost burning the calories that you've eaten. It's just kind of cool. He promptly turned to strike a pose in profile, the light in his eyes dulling comically as he flexed a bicep. And the skates are a part of it? The skates are, in fact, a part of it. See, you're already getting the hang of things. I have another question. Is it about the posing? It's company policy, part of the marketing. From the way Elio's eyes were fixed firmly on Nikki's way too tight shirt sleeves, he was patently not worried about the poses. Hey, don't think I forgot about you 3. You skipped visits for a couple weeks and you think you're not getting one of these? Aw, Nikki scooped Cameron into a sideways hug. And Elio visibly paused to process the difference in stature between them. Since you were already watching, you had to cough to hide a smile. Every movement only emphasized the bulk of Nikki's muscles, and the way Cameron nearly disappeared only served to further the visual effects. So I'm assuming Cameron is like the smallest out of them. All of them. Deja, Yuri, you in or not? Okay. If I run at you, will you catch me? Well, I'm not holding coffee this time. Hell yes! I love this game! Thanks to skates, you both spun off in a giddy spiral before disentangling and returning to the group. Don't tell Aunt Camilla. She'll start yelling at me about liabilities again. Okay, how about we get some orders going? Slipping a pen from behind his ear, Nikki dug a grease-spotted notepad from the front pocket of his apron. I might as well get him in now before Aunt Camilla realizes you're here. Do you... Nicola? Where are you? Never mind. I'm right here. What? Nikki, I asked you to change that bull into a gill 2 minutes ago. We've got a starving customer out in the drive-thru lane and Cammy! And here came the matron of the entire diner, the lovely and effervescent Camilla, wearing bright pink skates and rolling over with a high-pitched coo of recognition. For an older woman, she could really move. You're pretty sure she could also bench press you, if she really put her mind to it. Instead, all she did was reach out to pinch Cam's cheek. Hi, Mia. Oh, it's been a while since you stopped by, Cammy. You look thin. We're here too, Mia. Of course. Can't ever see one of you without having to feed all 3 of you right after, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Camilla turned and you braced yourself for the cheek pinching of a lifetime. Every time it happened, you were just relieved that she knew how to keep her manicured nails from poking you too badly. Honestly, what is that school feeding you? Are you calling me skinny? Honestly, what is that school feeding you? You kids got appetite, don't you? Come, you need a table. Your little friends too, come on. Sorry, Mia, we're just here to pick up food and then head out. Oh, that same old place you're always running off to, huh? You never stay and talk anymore. Who am I gonna tell about my latest bat? We'll come back, Mia.
I keep trying to tell Nikki about him, and you know what he does? Pretends he's deaf. You keep oversharing. I don't want to know. In fact, I don't need to know. You know what you don't gotta know is the part I didn't even tell you. You know about how he at Camilla. Oh, hush. We got customers. Oh, Mia, sorry we can't stay, but I told you that guy was no good. Well, you know me. I love fixing. Oh, you're a fixer. Girl, stand up. You don't need to be fixing nobody. They should be perfect for you. They should already be perfect for you, you know? Fuck them. You agree? I agree. I agree with myself. Fuck them. Fuck them. Mm-hmm. Anyway, look at me keeping you from your food when I said you all looked so hungry. Camilla's eyes turned on Percy, Jamie, and Ilya next. All of the three of them visibly fought not to back away, but luckily as newcomers, they were spared the indignity of any cheek pinching. You kids know what you want? Extra fries, virgins, you're up. Deja's placid smile was a poor disguise for how utterly delighted she was by the entire encounter. She stood to one side with her nails tapping innocently against her lips, waiting with bated amusement as Elio stepped up to the plate. So can I get the let's talk about business? Business? Can I get the let's talk about fitness set with the avocado sauce on the side? Anything to drink? Bench press juice? What kind of juice is it? Standard press juice. Oranges, turmeric, sweat. Next order? The never skip leg day set, extra crispy. You? No meal for me, thank you. What's that? Jamie met Camilla's narrowed eyes with his own, blinking calmly as he stood the silent, looming pressure of a matron trying to feed all her guests. I'm sharing with them. You could order another of the set then. It's late, I've had dinner already. But I would like a vanilla milkshake. We don't have those on the menu. We call them abdominal snowmans. One small abdominal snowman, please. Alright. Yuri, what do you want? The regular, of course. Whatever that was today. Oh, honey, today that'll be the potato. Nico's dad grew too many in his silly garden, and I'll tell ya, we're all sick to death of gnocchi. I used to pronounce this as gnocchi, but I think it's gnocchi, like the G silent. We'll get you a cup holder for all the toppings, you deserve it. By potato, does she mean a baked one or fries? Oh, they don't sell fries here. But it's called extra Oh, nah, she's right, kiddo. We don't actually do fries. Unless you say you don't want extra fries, then we can get you some shoestrings. Does that help with sales at all? Why do you think we've got so many potatoes to offload? Asia, dear, your order? Oh, I'll get a greens for gains bowl. I hear ya. And Cammy, what are you feeling, sweetie? Instead of answering right away, Cameron gave a wistful sigh. Their eyes drifted away toward a small neon-lit sign mounted by the kitchen door. Cammy, we talked about this. I want the big one. Cam, you're smarter than this. You've already tried the big one, and you haven't looked at a burger the same way ever since. It's okay to just not the big one. Hold on, is this some kind of secret menu situation? What's the big one? It's the greatest mistake on our green earth is what it is. Oh, don't be so dramatic, Nico. It's a burger with 6 veggie patties, vegan cheese between each layer, and all the fixings you can imagine. Bakes on strips, half a jar of pickles. We used to put a whole buffalo chicken thigh on top, but the health department told us to stop. Y'all are crazy. Would you believe that? A health risk. No one says anything about those silly charcoal drinks. Sure, we'll let the kids eat coal, but not some vegan buffalo chicken. It's a travesty. Well, that almost seems manageable. It also comes with about 5 pounds of waffle potatoes. And I take it back. Even for Elio, that's enough.
The last time Cam tried it, they were microwaving leftovers for the rest of the week. No, listen. I think if we take back all of our orders and team up, I think we could do it. There's twice as many of us this time. Aren't you supposed to finish challenges like these solo? Not extra fries. The portions are just too large. And it technically only counts if you finish it in-house, but it's really just about finishing it all for me. I've had everything else on the menu, but I've never beaten the big one, and Deja and Yuri can never help me finish it either. Oh, Cammy, I can just put you up on the wall, you know. I will not be the benefactor of potato-based nepotism. Percy and Elio exchange looks before glancing at Jamie. It's a no from him. I'm down. I've got no problems with vegan burgers, but this is too much for me. I'm so down. I'm down. Mama didn't raise no bitch. Let's do it. That is true. My mother raised no bitch. We're doing it. Except when it comes to horror, then I'm a bit of a bitch for that because I get scared very easily. But I do my best. I do. I promise. Alright, count me in then. Jamie and Deja exchanged a glance before they each folded with appropriate grace. Fine. This is what we get for mooching off our friends' meals. Photo wall, here we come. I'd rather die. You just might today, Jamie. Because you don't eat shit, so good fucking luck. You might. Again, the photo wall is for people who finish it in-house, but okay. Scratching everything for the big one. I respect it, kids, but I gotta say, I wish you luck. Camilla breezed back into the kitchen, inhaling to shout out right as the door closed behind her. We got a big one, folks! That's gonna take a while to put together, even if they're not that busy. Guess we'll just chill a bit then. Let me save. I haven't saved in a hot minute. Guess we'll just chill a bit then. Unsurprisingly, there aren't that many other customers eating in at the moment. A few night owls were present, focusing on their meals despite all the chaos, but overall the place was quiet. After Nikki finished figuring out payments with the six of you, everyone dispersed slowly through the diner. You went to check out. I want to see the pictures on the wall, please. Percy, please. If the big one wasn't enough indication, extra fries thrived on ridiculous food challenges. From the kitchen door down, around the corner and beyond, the back walls were scattered with framed photos, each marked with a date in messy handwriting. The sign next to the kitchen proclaimed these the winners of various challenges, but you did have to wonder whether any one of the photos had felt like a winner at the time. Even if the six of you managed to complete the big one tonight, like Deja had mentioned earlier, you'd only get a photo up if you ate here. You'd have to try another time to hit the photo wall, as horrible for your arteries as that sounded. As you meandered along the wall, you ran into Jamie and Percy, who were scanning the pictures with expressions of faint concern. I'm not entirely convinced these people are still alive. They've gotta be, or else they'd just be an in memoriam wall, which would be way more I feel like that'd be actually kind of, maybe it's me, I'd find that super funny if there was like a wall that says in memoriam instead of like our winners. I did see someone leave flowers here once. Wait, there's all kinds of foods in these. It's not just the big one? No, they've got a lot of different food challenges. I promise. I keep saying this. I promise I can read. The big one just has the biggest reputation. Why people opt to eat such excessive amounts is beyond me. It is, pardon me, a very American habit. I ain't gonna say I'm German, so I wouldn't fucking know. Yeah, but there's mukbangs and stuff. Remember that video? Yes. And people just like eating way more than you do, I promise. But also, you know how I always tell you it's kind of rundown restaurants that do the best food? Yes. And it applies to places with wall like this. Even if all the food was free, people won't eat this much if it's not good. I'm obliged to remind you that many of these people are college students. Okay, well, someone's grandma is in that one. Is there? Oh dear. Jamie rose into tiptoe to look where Percy was pointing, and as he made a faint sound of disbelief, Percy turned a grin your way. You know the names of any of these other challenges? You turned your attention to a photo featuring that marinara one. Kind of like scares me. First of all, you definitely recognize two of the people in this photo. That's Rory, isn't it? It is. Look at his fucking face. There is a tall student you'd played volleyball against at the barbecue, looking as if you were sitting before the pearly gates themselves. Your RA? Mine's in there too. You tapped the person sitting across the table who wasn't even trying to look presentable for the camera. They were slumped bonelessly in their chair with a paper napkin laid over the upper part of their face like a shroud. There were other students at the table too, more RAs, maybe, or simply a bigger friend group. This had to be Rory's idea. I think so, yeah. Mace doesn't do things like this unless they're going with everyone else's flow. Well, going by how miserable everyone else in the picture looks, it was a bad idea overall. Oh, but what's the challenge called? I think this one's called Stick to It. It's a promise, a threat, and a punishment all in one, delivered in the form of fried vegan cheese sticks. I'd be down. Fucking love cheese sticks. I will eat all of them. Order up. A rattle of wheels sounded behind the kitchen door right before Nicola pushed it open. Out came an orange flatbed cart rolling into the main floor of the diner. Right on its center was a towering cardboard takeout box surrounded by paper bags stuffed full of food. Steam curled ominously from the gaps in the packaging, and despite your earlier determination, you gulped involuntarily. The air was suddenly thick with the greasy, indulgent smell of freshly fried food. Elio stepped quickly over to take over the steering the cart, and Camilla tugged Cameron in for one last embrace, planting a lipsticky goodbye on one cheek with a fond chuckle. Alright, you give it your best shot, you hear? But if you end up not using the restroom for a few days, don't sue us. Oh, thanks, Mia. Good luck. You all come back soon, okay? I get so lonely here. I start talking to the detergent. What am I? Chopped liver? Well, maybe if you start listening to all my horrible stories, maybe I'll start love bombing you again. Ever think about that? The last time, Aunt Camilla. That's not what that means. We're heading out. Bye, Mia. Bye, Nikki. Good night, extra fries. And then you were back in the parking lot, quickly packing bag after bag of food into the chamomile trunk. I've been meaning to ask. We're doing takeout, but where are we taking everything? Oh, you'll see. Buckle back up, everyone. Are we going to like a really like romantic spot? And guys, I'm just waiting for Percy to confess. I'm a pussy. I wouldn't really say I'm a pussy. I'm the type of person when it comes to liking someone. I don't typically like holding on to feelings. I think I love romance. I'm a romantic person, but when it comes to myself, I always say I shy away from it. So the thing with me is that if the feelings get too strong, which it does, like, give or take some months, half a year, I start getting very, very intense feelings for this person, and I get scared of having these feelings. So I typically confess because what I have in mind is that they don't like me back. So I essentially confess to get rid of my feelings because in my head, I'm like, they don't like me back anyways. If I confess, I'll be sad for a little while, but I'll move on. And whilst I cherish those feelings of romance that I have towards them, and essentially that like pink tinted glasses I have on when I'm around that person, I get scared of having those feelings, and I don't want to hold on to them because of that fear. So I tell them, and then I mean, it's gone either way. That's all I'm saying. It's gone either way. Almost every late night excursion with Cameron involved the same off-campus hangout. The neon glow of the diner's signage disappeared in the rear view. You noted the familiar turn Cameron was taking. There was no doubt this night was headed in the same direction. No problems here. I don't mind stuff like that. After a few minutes, the car's wheels rolled off asphalt onto rough gravel, and Percy perked up as the road took you on a wide, curving turn. The lanes merged and then merged some more until the headlights illuminated only a stretch of unpaved ground ahead. Oh my god. I knew it. This is where they murder us. This is your fault, you know. I had a perfectly amicable relationship with Cameron before this. Come on, guys. Cam, where are we going? To your final resting place. Told you. Cameron laughed, switching gears as the path began sloping up. Gradually, it evened back out at a higher elevation, and finally the car pulled to the side, clunking gently as it settled into park. Okay, hop on out and see for yourselves. Yeah, head on out. Dee, you want to get the seats down with me? After Ilio, Percy, and Jamie climbed out the car, you and Deja returned to the middle row, expertly pulling the seats forward and reaching to fold the back row of seats flat. Oh, that'd be such a nice view, like a view of the city. Cameron scampered to settle all the food on one side, making space for Deja to flap a few blankets out on the car floor. I think we're getting faster every time you do this. The system works. Okay, guys. Guys? Hello? It's their first time here. I think they're taking in the view. Deja gestured with a jut of her chin. Your guests for the night had indeed wandered off to steer over the nearby fence, each marveling at what was on the other side. Framed by lush greenery and velvet dark mountains, Fairfield glowed in the distance, a reef of warm, late-night lights, as if the very last vestiges of sunset were caught in the glint of 1,000 faraway windows. Nearby, a hiking train wound into the muted darkness, curving away from the sparse lamplight in a matter of steps. Cameron's was the only car on the lot, and despite the proximity to the city, the air was quiet and cool. Welcome to Half Point. It's not really named that. It's just a parking lot for... It's part of the hiking trails nearby. They go even further up into the mountains, but, well, it's Half Point. What do you think? There was no answer as the three of them stared out a little longer. Jamie nodded a little in faint acknowledgement, and Elliot tilted his head back, gazing up into the night sky. Then with a scrape of gravel, Percy swung a leg over the fence, levering himself up to sit on the upper rail. One foot kicked gently back and forth, his shoulders rising as he took in a big, contemplative breath.
I'm not. Percy, what the fuck? Oh my god. Oh my god. What the fuck? Percy! He knows! His voice washed over the darkened trails far below before echoing faintly back. Deja was first to break the silence, her composure cracking as she choked on a sudden laugh. The others crumbled into giggles soon after, even Jamie, though he made sure to roll his eyes too. Beep beep, it's the weenie mobile. What the fuck, Elio? Peter Piper picked a prickly pecker. What the fuck? Jamie, you're just as bad as them. Holy fuck. Cock-a-doodle-doo. Y'all are terrible. The fence wobbled slightly as Cameron leaped up, grabbing a post and leaning forward over the grassy precipice. You and Deja followed them, though he stopped a little ways back to avoid jostling anyone. The corner of her mouth quirked up before she leaned forward, letting out a loud, raspy yell. Everybody put your hands up. It's the Peen Patrol! A battle of weenie wits you're in. Deputy Ding Dong here to protect your dingling. That is the weakest shit. Fuck off. Oh, like Jamie's was any better. What was wrong with mine? It was a nursery rhyme? Schlong. Hickory dickory dock. Shut the fuck up. Oh my god. Is that we're trying to celebrate our anniversary? Can you stop dicking around? Oh my god, it's Maze. Seriously? It sounds like them, yes. But who were they celebrating with? They said it was an anniversary. I didn't even know Mace was seeing someone. What? Sorry about that. Happy anniversary. Dude. Many happy returns. Hope you're having a nice night. You know, I was having a nice night until you started screaming, Percy. Oh, fuck. Rory's down there? Mace and Rory are a thing? Oh my god. Our RAs are dating. If I hear another word up there, I'm so sorry. Good night. A taut silence over the mountainside, and one by one you each stepped back from the fence. Well, that was an unexpected twist. Yeah, for a start. Still kind of sucks how that played out. Had that one cocked and ready, did he? Jamie's soft chuckle drew the antics to a close. For all his formalities, it seemed not even he could withstand an entire barrage of ill-phrased shouts. Oh, and it's a great spot to answer your question from earlier. Good. Come on, let's eat. Cameron waved back in the direction of the car, running ahead to pull the trunk open. With the seats already folded down, the back of the SUV now served as a sheltered picnic spot. Why not eat at the tables? The benches sag, plus this way the wind doesn't move anything. We do this all the time, climb in. Jamie was first, shuffling quickly to the farthest corner of the newly arranged space. Turning, he set his back against the folded seats, tucking his legs carefully along the trunk wall. Cameron and Deja slid over to their own spots, and as you filled the space beside your roommate, Ellie and Percy sat toward the back of the open car. In the center of you was a cluster of cardboard takeout containers, one of which sat absurdly tall over the rest. Frankly, it was a miracle it hadn't tipped over during the ride to up to half point. Ever so carefully, Cameron lifted... Oh god. And now, it's time. Delicately, they eased open the folded tab at the very top, and the box opened, its side falling flat to reveal the night's main event. There she was, that hulking masterpiece of vegan American cuisine. The big one leaned serenely to one side, held together by some miracle of plant-based cheese substitute. Each of the 6 patties was thicker than your thumb. Light glimmered faintly on ridge, cut pickles, and a thick, almost coagulating sauce sat like mortar between layers of lettuce leaves, thick cut tomatoes, and sliced onion. She's beautiful. Of course you'd say that, Elio. Oh, she is, but she's not alone. With an air of solemn resignation, Deja laid several sheets of checkered grease-proof paper around the big one. Then with a rustle of paper, Cameron dumped 5 pounds of waffle fries into the basket. A cloud of steam puffed up into trunk space, doing little to hide how brightly they were grinning. Oh, that's such a cute picture, though. All I have to say, though, Cameron and Jamie are... Just date. Just date. My comrades in Burger, our battle has begun. Oh, sweet lord. My stomach already hurts. Remind me what the challenge is again? The baseline's to finish in an hour, but Mia changes it depending on how many people there are. There's 6 of us, so 10-minute timer, if we must. Thankfully, Nikki had included a stack of plates and disposable cutlery. Each of you took a set, while Cameron and Elio took over the arduous task of splitting the big one between 6 plates. I was kind of expecting more bread. How are we going to make 6 burgers out of this? I'm just gonna split it horizontally. There's not actually 6 burger buns in there, are there?
No, from what I can tell, there's a bun on the bottom, a bun on the top, and that's it. Oh yeah, this thing's soggy. What's the bottom layer? Pass. Pass. Cowards, I'll take it. Hiking up his shirt, Percy briskly undid his belt, pulling it free. That's so real. Pulling it free and lobbing it up into the front sections of the camobile. He held up his plate in the next second, receiving a layered stack of burger accoutrement with a hearty grin. Jamie occupied himself with passing out drinks. By the time he had every order matched up, his own plate was full, and he sat quietly contemplating, tapping a fork idly against a chunk of tomato. I don't like tomatoes. I'll be honest, if I had a tomato, I would give it to someone, because like give me another patty. I'll take that. I would take that over a piece of tomato any day. I don't like tomatoes. I don't. I'm sorry. I really don't like tomatoes. I apologize.
I apologize for my outburst.
Okay. Yuri, D, Elio, and me. Okay. And then Cam plucked the comically small flag off the top and sawed the upper bun into 6 even wedges, passing the pieces out to everyone present. And they quickly reached down, drawing the knife through the sea of fries to split it into portions. And we're all set. He pulled your own plate towards you for a closer look. At least with 6 of you in the running, you'd each only have to eat 1 patty, as well as triple handful of fixings and almost a pound of fries each. Elio tugged out the waistband of his sweats, wiggling his eyebrows at the rest of you before letting it snap. Well, it's been an honor. Are you ready to claim a place in extra fries history? Ready. The others snatched up fries of their own, and your hands met over the center of the fry basket in a greasy toast. He's got the timer. I've got it. Get ready, get set, go. I'm just going for it. Even if you didn't have any burger buns to hold on to, you could lift your part of the burger and keep it balanced to avoid losing anything. Here comes Yuri with the first big bite, the first of many, I hope. And you did just that, chewing urgently despite the sheer volume of food in your mouth. Deja and Jamie weren't as enthusiastic about getting their hands dirty as you were. I've heard of finger food, but this is just ridiculous. It's the moisture, isn't it? And the sauce, yes, and the cheese. Chuckling softly, Deja passed over an extra set of cutlery, and the two of them set about cutting their burger patties into sensibly sized portions. 5 minutes down, what? 5 minutes? Just a little more. Eat your heart out. It was getting harder and harder to keep your jaw moving, but you knew the end was near. All you needed to do was reach for it. While you fought the urge to let your eyes glaze over, Jamie leaned over onto Percy, looking paler than usual as his turned towards the open trunk door. You doing alright, champ? Yes, just need a little fresh air. I don't know why you let me do this. You need an antacid? Or a portable fan? I've got both in the glove box. Possibly, I'll let you know. You just keep antacids in the car. I feel like they do this way too often. They would have it in the car. This isn't my first rodeo, Percy. The alarm beeped all too soon, bringing an abrupt end to your suffering. Scraps of veggie patties and errant vegetables were left on every plate, and a truly discouraging number of fries were left piled at the center of your miserable circle. None among you had thought it would be an easy feat. Still, you'd brought low, and per Mia's warning, you had nobody to blame for it. You'd been brought low, and per Mia's warning, you had nobody to blame for it but yourselves. So, who's ready for dessert? Ugh. Now that the thrill of the big one had waned, the late hours catching up to you. Still, as others in the group started fighting off food comas, you found yourself more alert than expected. Hey, there's still something in this bag. What the? Who ordered an entire cake? I did. Or, well, Mia gave it to me for beating that strength game in that restaurant. I can't even think about it right now. I'll explode. Alas, even if your bodies and hearts protested, the cake could not go to waste. Y'all pulled yourselves upright, and a final flatter package the size of a large pizza box landed on the car with a thwomp. The lid opened, and a sweet vanilla-scented fragrance replaced the smell of cold fries. Behold, the fruit of Ilio's labors. Mia called it the pound plate, and now I see why. The entire cake was shaped like a weight training plate, completely with a hole in the center for a barbell to fit through. Where the weight and brand would typically be marked on the plate, there was simply the name of the cursed thing's creator, Extra Fries. Well, the good news is there's no challenge involved with this one. There's nothing stopping us from splitting it up and taking it home. Cake keeps much better than fast food does anyway. So you all agreed, and yet, as if puppeteered by Mia's will from afar, you slowly passed out more plates, cut slices of the dense, heavy cake, and sat in silence, staring grimly down at your dessert. Inconceivably, Cameron was the first to move, lifting a forkful of heavy pound cake with a determined sigh. I won't let Elio's hard work go to waste. Jamie was next, lifting his plate up and taking the tiniest nibble of a slice. Percy only picked half-heartedly at his cake, sitting turned to the side with one leg hanging off the trunk sledge. With the big one no longer in the way, Deja and Cam each stretched out their legs, leaning back as far as they could. In the other corner, Jamie was also laid flat. Apparently, one bite was all he'd been willing to take. His lower body was stretched neatly under the triangle formed by Elio's bent legs. Elio himself was lying with his head towards the open trunk, staring upside down out the back of the car. As long as everybody was comfortable, you. Yeah. Percy, can I get by? Anyways, scooting closer to the edge of the trunk, you leaned out in time to relish a gentle breeze that passed by, stretching out your limbs before you returned to your spot. As always, if you had to be out at this hour, Half Point was one of your favorite places to go. It was a secret place that you, Deja, and Cam shared, and somewhere you could go to retreat from the world. It just happened that this time, there were 6 of you rather than 3. Eventually, Elio's voice wove through the food-induced haze that had settled over the car. Hey, Cam? Yeah? Where'd you get all of this stuff? He stretched his arm up as high as he could toward the glow-in-the-dark stars plastered all over the roof. Which stuff? You know, all of it? Well, everything on the ceiling's pretty much from events or concerts. The stars are from a dollar store, though. The glue's melted on there by now. Couldn't get them down if I tried. Cameron giggled from their spot in the door, their head lolling to glance over the car's interior. Percy drew his legs in and turned, scooting a little ways back into the trunk, his head tilted to one side, bracing against his shoulder. Yeah, now that I've gotten a better look, I'm taking back what I said about this being a mom car. It's pretty you. What's that supposed to mean? Just like, if I'd seen the inside without knowing this was your car, I'd still be like, yeah, this is Cameron's car, you know? Thanks. You know, that saying about making your house a home, I try to do that with my car too. I can't take all the credit though. He and Yuri helped. Cameron, I will kiss your cheek. Cam really likes frogs, if it wasn't obvious. Solid gift option every time. The steering wheel cover came first, then the headrest pillow. My family noticed I was complaining my neck hurt. And what about this little guy up on the ceiling? What little guy? Oh, I have no idea. Ghost Frog. The middle console's got some albums and textbooks. Mostly albums. Yeah, but textbooks too. I mean, it's like having a locker on wheels, unless you mean you're actually studying in here too. I can hear the judgment in your voice, and a matter of fact, I do study in here when I'm not taking power naps. Cameron patted the blankets laid out underneath the all, and he nodded along to confirm that the chamomile was a grade A place to sleep. Mm-hmm. I've seen them use their philosophy books as a pillow once. Yeah, never again. My dreams kept asking me if I was dreaming. Honestly, if I had the option, I'd keep my notes within reaching distance too. Can't stop working even for a second, huh? Finals are just around the corner. Don't remind me. Asia rolled her eyes teasingly, shooting the three boys a bemused look. Well, it's no problem as long as we study ahead of time, like tonight, Percy pulled the most innocent face he could, although his bemused smile twitched a little with telltale humor. Oh, definitely. What could you possibly be implying, Deja? I'm just wondering about all that racket we heard before we left the library. What kind of studying was that? It's physics. Like Elio, we were reviewing your stuff, right? Oh yeah, Newton stuff. Had to make sure I understood how gravity works before exams. Sure. And are we to believe that you, Miss Lamar, were studying the entire time? Yeah, Deja, were you? Of course I was, and I have witnesses to prove it. A likely story. Witnesses, what do you have to say about this claim? I just looked in the corner and it was saying like, oh, Tuesday, 2 centimeters of snow. Cool. We were supposed to get like a snowstorm on Thursday evening, Friday, we were supposed to get a snowstorm. We didn't get a fucking snowstorm. I look out, there's actually less snow right now because the sun was shining and it was like, it wasn't warm, but it was warmer. You want us to testify against Asia? Who do you think we are? Comrades and burgers. I thought we were closer than that. I thought we were friends. Cam. Elio slid his half-empty plate meaningfully across a blanket, his lip quivering as he turned his head towards Cameron. They stuck out a hand at him, crossing the other arm over their eyes as they muffled a cry of mock anguish. Ah, my weakness. Big brown eyes. If you're not gonna look at me, I'm just gonna have to use them in Yuri too. If I just don't look, it won't work. Ilya flopped back down with a defeated laugh, his legs jostling lightly against Jamie's. Fine, keep your secrets. Wait, no, we're not glossing over this. Lamar's own best friends won't say a single bad thing about her. Is that more suspicious? You doubt my spotless record, Percy? Well, how can I not? Who here knows something about Deja that most people don't? You and Cameron immediately raised hands, and Percy put his own palms up to halt whatever you were gonna say. Okay, wait, see, I'm proving the point again, you see? Come on, we know stuff about Deja. She's going to be a city planner. Yeah, okay, and what's the name of her first pet? Reginald, the 5th. At least bait me more convincingly if you're going to fish for information like that. Okay, I'll do you one better, sheesh. Here. Classic icebreakers, true truths and a lie, how's that? Deja snorted, one hand twisting into an eerie, dismissive gesture. It's a bit late for icebreakers now, isn't it? Come on, don't tell me you're afraid of being a little honest in front of our friends. Are you trying to antagonize me? I'm just reading. I hope you're entertained. Wasn't this supposed to be a demo, or am I playing the full game? It says demo. Is the game out? No, the full game isn't even out yet. No, it's not out. Me never. I was just trying to suggest a little friendly competition, but if you're not into it, it's fine. The twitch of the corner of her lips was all you needed to know that Percy had inadvertently sealed the deal. Alright, but you're going first. I have to decide which cards I'm playing. Shouldn't that apply to me too? Nah, it's better if you both pick things as quickly as possible. Go, go, go. Alright, give me a second at least. Alright, I got it. I once got a belly ring for shits and giggles, but it got infected, so I had to give it up. My middle name was so lame that I legally had it removed when I turned 18. And my pollen allergies are occasionally so bad I've thrown my back out over them. Which one's a lie? Huh. I think the belly ring's a lot. No, actually, I don't know. Oh my god, it is the belly ring. So which one is it? Is it the middle name? He screamed like a baby the first. Okay, Deja was right. Okay. Leaning back, Percy wiggled his fingers in a goading gesture. Deja in turn lifted a hand, counting off her statements one by one. When I was 14, I shoved my boyfriend into a fountain because I was worried our braces would get stuck together if we kissed. Elio guffawed, then promptly choked on a spit. Deja continued with barely a blink. Clearly, she'd chosen to start strong. Once someone tried to prank me with a sandwich cookie filled with toothpaste. They thought I'd spit it out, so instead I ate the entire thing. And I once stayed on a spinning teacup ride for half an hour on a dare. Obviously, the last one was a lie. Deja was prone to motion sickness, especially in tight quarters. Neither Percy, Elio, nor Jamie would know, of course, unless you gave someone a little help. Guys, I'm terrible. He tried to catch his eye. Was it too obvious? You don't really strike me as the type to love a teacup ride or any rides in general. You're right, but I'll still take offense. And there we go. Has the ice been sufficiently broken now? Honestly, I'd say so. For example, we've learned Deja will do some insane shit if she has to. What exactly is so insane about throwing a boyfriend into a fountain? There's a lot to unpack there, Deja. Because you were scared your braces would click together. Okay. No, that's totally reasonable. No problems there. No problems. Yeah, no, I'm talking about the toothpaste thing. What could you possibly have to prove so bad that you'd eat a whole toothpaste cookie? Did I need a reason? They wanted me to wuss out, so I didn't. You know what? I do feel like I know you better now. Yeah, it really puts all of Deja's work with the SGB into perspective, doesn't it? I've got plenty of reason for the SGB stuff. It's not like I do it all on a whim. I don't know, last year you did kind of organize an entire holiday party because people said there wasn't enough funding for it. Listen, it's not my fault some people don't know how to read a spreadsheet. Speaking of spreadsheets, oh no you don't. The game's over unless you want to take a turn. Gently, a merciful breeze found its way over, rustling the distant grass and sending a breath of lush mountain air into the open car. Elio turned himself around, scooching backward until he squished next to Jamie on the other side of the trunk. His voice drifted up again, quieter this time and a little more sleep-dazed. Hey, Cam. Wanted to ask, how'd you find out about this place? You want the long story or the short one? Long one. Oh god. All I remember is it was exhausting. I mean, I was an energetic kid, but it gets overwhelming, you know. When we were finally back at the trailhead, we ended up sitting and resting here for a while, and it's, you know, nice, quiet. When I grew up and started driving, I started coming back pretty often. Cameron's expression softened, the lavender of their eyes just as gentle as they scanned the horizon. Elio chuckled, propping himself up to take a glance out as well. Damn, 6 siblings? I thought I had it bad with 5. Y'all are just 2 peas in a pod. Oh no, they're like my cousins. I'm an only child, but my extended family are all really close by. We're practically one household, so... Oh, alright. Okay, but you do have 5 siblings? Yeah. Every time someone else was born, my big sister would say she felt bad for her mom. But, yep, 2 older, 3 younger. Oh, he's a middle kid. Oh, my throat. That sounded bad. I'm fine, I promise. Elio chuckled, sticking a fist up and flexing his arm. Jamie's hand came up soon after, poking him in a gentle request not to move around too much. That's exactly what you think, by the way. Just imagine 5 Elios with different haircuts. I'm telling Hina. Hina likes me more than you. Older sister, I'm guessing. It's Hina, Hoku, me, Kyle, and Lyra. And then Cass is our littlest sister. They're named after heavenly bodies, like a big box set. Is he Samoan? Hina's from Mahina, and then Hoku's, or well, Hoku means star. They were gonna name me La for the sun, and then they switched to Elio. Cal, Lyra, or Lyra, and Cass are all named after constellations. And then there's Percy, of course. Yeah, forget Cass. I was the worst kid out of the whole bunch. What? No, come on. It sounds like you were all really close. I was about to say, are y'all childhood friends or something? That's nice. Nah, but we met each other in high school. Classic meet cute. Like ours? I don't know if ours was class. He was failing geometry, so he was asking around for tutors. Lo and behold, there I was, all in my nerdy glory. My throat, man! Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't math pretty important in astrophysics? Look, I can do physics and whatever, no problem. But there's something about shape math that gets me completely turned around. There's just something about math that fucks me up. So where'd Jamie come into the picture? During orientation week last year, Jamie yawned, sheltering briefly behind the back of one hand, waved gently with the other, signaling for Elio to take over. Percy was meeting up with the other bio kids. I think. I was just wandering around one of the orientation events, trying icebreakers, stuff like that. And Jamie was over with the international students off to one side. I came up to him and asked if we could call shorts shorts. Why do we call pants pants? He calls them longs, for the record. The joke! Elio laughed, shaking his head as he looked fondly at his sleepy friend. Anyway, a semester after that, we ended up grouping into the same apartment. So you didn't click from the start? Nah. What about you, Cameron and Neri? What's the story there? This is new. Deja, shut the fuck up. What? Don't tell me you've forgotten, D. Suppose I'll ask my friends later. The university matched us as roommates, and we connected over socials before the school year started. All things considered, I still call it a lucky break. I could have matched with someone else, though a little worse. Only a little? Deja's grin gleamed with impish energy, and she only winked in reply. And I was part of the mentorship group in the poli-sci group. I got to show Yuri around campus and stuff, and we started hanging out after. The conversation split from there, wandering down two parallel muted paths. To one side, Percy had asked Cameron to explain how they managed their double major, and they were working slowly through some of their strategies in a soft, drowsy voice. To the other, Elio had sat partway up again, sketching a vague shape in the air with one hand. He described one of his siblings in more detail. Jumping back and forth between topics was a little much, so you busied yourself with repacking what was left of the giant pound cake, a plate, off to one side. And the discussion converged again. It was thanks to Cameron. Hey, Elio. Man, y'all just drive home. Fuck it, Al. Jamie nudged him gently, and only then did he return from his mental spacewalk. What? Oh, sorry, were you saying something, Cam? What are you thinking about? Oh, it's not much. Coming from the astrophysicist, I suppose that's not surprising. Yeah, who would have thunk? You haven't found one you liked yet? Nah, not on my current budget. It's hard to bump it up to the priority list when there is an observatory nearby, you know? But I'll get a new one eventually, and then we can take it for a spin, right away. Gotta show you all my favorites at least. Which one are those? Leo, Virgo, and I guess Perseus. Oh, Leo. I was talking about the constellation, not you, dingus. Jamie, hold me. I require comfort. No. I love their dynamics. I love
how smoothly the conversations flow. The way that they wrote this, it is very, very it's very, very well done. It feels very like, how do I say it? It feels very organic. It does not feel like it's a fake conversation at all. And I really, really appreciate that. Like, the game developers did a really good job. A really good one. Yeah. A really good one. Okay, let's continue. But why those three, Elio? Well, when I was a kid, my folks worked at an observatory in Kauai. My dad narrated all the shows. The whole space is infinite, and we're tiny little specks and all of that thing. Me and Hoku were too young to leave at home, but my mom didn't want to hire a babysitter, so they just take us to work. He shrugged harmlessly, dropping both of his hands onto his lap as he stared back out at the sky. Eventually, I started actually remembering stuff. I've got some really early memories from that observatory. Oh, but the constellations came way later. Leo was the first one they taught me to find. Elio shrugged again, but in the same motion, he slipped a thumb under his necklace, lifting the charm so the symbol on it glinted in the dim light. I've been pretty set on astrophysics from the start, thanks to that, even if the math homework never ends. What about you guys? You're in urban planning, right, Deja? Can't imagine what you knew. Can't imagine that you knew you wanted to do that when you were a kid. Deja leaned her head back again, humming as she crossed her arms loosely across her stomach. I did, sort of. NYC is, well, it's NYC. We've got a better public transport system than most. The city's built on a grid, and because it's not as spread out as suburban areas are, it's easy to get around. But there's still a lot of cities that aren't like that. It's not perfect, but its communities are connected. It's an example of what a place can look like if we just find ways for everyone to stay together. That's unexpectedly sweet, Deja. It's the bare minimum. Plenty of need for doctors out there. I've got the brains for it, so that's as good of a reason why as any, if you ask me. He wants to study medicine? I'm not gonna lie, Percy is just like more and more. Like, Percy would essentially be the definition of what my type is, like the way things are going, you know? Still, that's a lot of brains. Another lull, another pause. I didn't hear an answer from Cameron or Yuri. What? Oh, I mean, it's too soon to say for sure, but I'm gearing to be a public defender. Yeah? Yeah, it's just, a lot of people can't afford legal counsel when they need it. I wouldn't make much money and I'd probably be stressed out of my mind. But you'd be doing a good thing. Yeah. Oh, same. I think we could do a lot of good. There are a lot of people out there who couldn't afford lawyers, but even those that could only sought them out because they needed someone on their side. Call it a little idealistic, but you wanted to do the right thing by your eventual clients. And good luck to the both of you. What about you, Jamie? Yeah, what about you, Jamie? Percy batted his eyelashes, and though Jamie staunchly ignored him, Cameron succumbed to a little giggle. It was worth a shot. I've never caught him off guard about it ever. I'm not even sure he goes to class. I do. There was an undeniable smugness in the way that he said it that made you want to figure it out. There was plenty that you could see him doing, but what was he actually studying? I've asked about his own work, right? Yeah, we tried checking, but at this point, I think he's just taking extra courses for shits and giggles. I've seen him working on everything from friggin' microbiology to fine art. What about his textbooks? No luck there, he just reads them for fun. He borrows most of them from the library. Is he studying to become a teacher? Someone's got to have seen him leave a lecture hall at some point. I mean, yeah, but for seminars and visiting speakers and stuff, I kind of assumed he was just grabbing all the free food. I wonder. No, that's not it. He gets most of his sustenance through photosynthesis. What kind of seminars did you catch him in, though?
I think I saw him go to a music symposium once. I've seen him come out of the history department a few times. I think he's studying to become a teacher. These are all classes for like teaching. And now he goes to film screenings late at night, art house. So basically, it's not that we have no clues. We have too many, and we've got no ways to narrow it down. We could just start throwing majors at a wall, see what sticks, spaghetti it. Counting? What? No way. Well, I wasn't about to guess bakery science. That'd be too easy. It's definitely not aeronautics. Interior design? No, I decorated the entire apartment because he didn't have an opinion or anything. You have to think of the bigger picture. Why? I can't tell why he would come to he was convinced this was the best, so he only or we're just really popular with international students. I think he's studying education. So he transfers to Rin Meyer and then I don't think these are any of the options. Do we have a social work degree? I think we do. I don't know how popular it is, but and finally, this is all leading him to his illustrious career in teaching. I thought it'd be education. I guess I'm wrong. Jamie only smiled as sweet and sincere as ever. It seemed that no matter how far off the mark you went, he'd respond as if he'd made a perfectly reasonable guess. Social work is a notable profession, but I'm not so sure I'm suited for it. Oh, come on. You're great with other people. Well, what a productive conversation that was. I'll add to the list of things he's definitely not here for. I never said any of it was incorrect. Yeah, but you never do that. That's why we're currently thinking you're going to graduate with a degree in quantum home economics or something. That is also a perfectly valid guess. Jamie, you suck. You suck ass. Several light-hearted groans filtered through the car, and Jamie chuckled, his amusement fading into a quiet, low sigh. Any further attempts to guess at his academics were met with absent-minded silence as he sat back in with his eyes shut. The conversation meandered naturally between the rest of you instead, though only for a few minutes longer. After a few sleepy stops and starts, it was obvious you were all well past tired. Jamie almost fell completely asleep, though Elliot prodded him gently awake as everyone moved to pack up the trunk. There's a roll of trash bags somewhere if anyone can find it. I've been using it as a pillow. Oh, nice! Then we can just grab everything and I'll throw it away when I'm home. Sliding out of the trunk, Yelp Deja folded all the blankets back into a pile before heading around to the front of the car as the seats were popped back up. Climbing back into your seat, you settled with your head resting gently against the window, gazing drowsily out at the dark and muddled mountainside as Cam started the drive back down. The occasional roadside light cast a brief glow over the car, but aside from that, the brightest light you had was the plastic stars stuck to the ceiling. It's really late. Y'all just want to crash with us for the night? Y'all welcome to, as long as you're okay with the living room. I mean, don't want to impose. Dude, you sound half asleep. It's really fine. Take it from me. Alright. Thanks, you two. Slowly, you wound up back on campus, and the trip from the residential parking lot to your apartment passed in a carousel smear of sleepy chatter. Somewhere along the way, you sunk into that the boys were sleeping over, if only for what remained of your errant night out. For a moonlit moment, the thought sent a bright fizz of awareness through you before the promise of sleep weighed on you like a down blanket once more, keeping the nerves at bay. Once you were inside, the six of you glanced at the living room for all of 5 seconds before arriving at a collective decision. Want help moving the table? Thanks, over that way is fine. Once the floor was clear, you, Deja, and Cam just joined everyone else on the floor, ignoring the actual bedrooms down the hall. Night, everyone. In what felt like no time at all, your dreams turned the rosy hue of morning light and you cracked your eyes back open as everyone else stirred around you. Morning. You added your own sleepy mumble to the chorus that sounded as Elio sat up to rub the grit from his eyes. Patting around for his phone, he planted his hand fully on Percy's face. Jamie sat up on Percy's far side, a lock of pale hair brushing his cheek as he blinked fuzzily. Percy pushed Elio's hand off and levered himself up as well, his rings glinting as he hid a yawn behind one hand. Did you sleep with all your jewelry on, Percy? What? No, I guess I did. Oops. He glanced at his hand and grimaced a little, rubbing gently at the corner of his eye with his thumb. As he did, his eyes closed, and for a second you'd suspected he'd fallen right back asleep, if it weren't for the sunlight filtering softly onto his face. Out of the corner of your eye, Cameron leaned into view from the kitchen. Down the hall, the door to Deja's room clicked shut, and she trudged into view to complete the scene, wearing a change of clothes and still holding her toothbrush. Good morning. Everyone sleep okay? I dreamed I had to climb out of a pit of waffle fries, but I feel that. Oh, you too? I dreamt I was getting chased down by a big beefy burger man. I dreamt we ordered 2 big ones and then had to quit school. We should get going though. I kinda fell asleep with my contacts in. There was a collective wince of sympathy as Percy blinked his reddened eyes with a weary, rueful smile. I have some eye drops you can use. Deja disappeared into her room and the boys gathered themselves in the meantime, tactfully preparing themselves for a simple exit. It'd been an impromptu sleepover after all, you all had different plans for the day, and there was an unspoken need not to impose too much. The night hadn't gone exactly as you'd expected, but considering all you'd had in mind was endless studying, that hadn't been a bad thing. You'd gotten to share some of your unique campus life with them, and everyone had gotten a chance to learn something about each other outside of the usual antics. After a quick round of thanks and farewells, Percy, Jamie, and Ellie were gone. You climbed back onto the couch, indulging in one more sleepy yawn. Cameron finished plumping up the cushions stacked on the floor, then promptly flopped over onto them. Deja returned from the door, stirring a mug of coffee as she sat next to you. Her shoulder bumped conspirationally against yours, nudging your attention away from the morning sky outside. Hey Yuri, what's up? Don't you have an exam in an hour? Fuck! Oh, what? Exactly. A tort is an act through which an individual can be held responsible in a court of civic law, which is obviously different from criminal law. There are 3 basic types of torts, but name at least 5 that exist within each. Yuri, dude, you're doing it again. What am I doing? I can see your eyes moving under your eyelids. Relax, we're done. Finals are over, we made it. Maybe you're right, Cam, I can stop thinking. Without opening your eyes, you smiled softly, and before long, you could hear Cameron rustling through a bag off to your side. A water bottle, slick with condensation, pressed up against your cheek for the taking. That's the spirit. Can I get some grapes? And you give a mouse a water bottle, and suddenly she's asking for grapes and a palm frond to fan her with. What next? You're gonna ask me to rub your shoulders? Will you? No, but I could be convinced. Maybe. Isn't the whole picnic already enough? Cameron casually dropped their arm across your cheek, and you stifled a protest at being used as a wrist rest. In fairness, you were using their thigh as a pillow. Your haunting by law textbooks aside, Cameron wasn't wrong. The semester was over. Final seasons had officially come and gone, and all that remained was waiting for your grades to come in. Thanks for organizing this day. I can't take credit for all of it. Everyone on campus seemed to have the same idea. Yeah, I can't believe we even found a spot. The green today was littered with students. Some rested in the hammocks that the SGB had set up when finals started. Others chattered amongst themselves about parties or vacations. And still, others like you and your friends were content to soak up the sunshine instead. Deja, bless her, had also brought snacks. Reaching aside, she plucked a small wedge of cheese and a cracker from the plate sitting on the blanket. How do you think you did, Cam? I mean... Cameron's smile weakened, and they turned aside, pulling a grape free and popping it into their mouth. I feel... alright. I mean, I think I killed it with my philosophy finals, but the law stuff? I don't know which joker in the college counselor's office was like, sure, let them double major. It'll go great. You studied your ass off. I'm sure you did do great, Cam. Seriously, we reviewed for hours. I feel like I do great on those exams too. Just keep all of it in your head until next year and you're set. Contrary to some others, you decided against cramming 4 months of information into a week or at worst a single night. As was part of the course, you'd spent nearly every night studying, using any and every strategy at your disposal to retain and recall your lectures and readings, and yet, when do you think grades will be posted? Nervous? Maybe a little? I just want to find out and be done with it, you know? Knowing how hard you worked this semester, I don't think you have to worry about. I'm guessing you're not worried, Deja? Am I ever? Alright, Miss Humblebrag. Deja stifled a laugh, feigning innocence. The two of you knew better than anyone else that even the student vice president had put in some real elbow grease to succeed as much as she had. At least I didn't have any actual exams to study for. Did not have the time. Stretching her arms high overhead, Deja let out a slight whine. The mere thought of school manifested imaginary knots in her shoulders. Just 2 more years to go and it'll all be over. Oh, do they have 4 years? I mean, if they're pre-law, to be honest, they still have time. They still have time. I thought this would be like the next year would be their last year, but it's not. A beautiful fleeting dream that I'll be thinking about when I'm in an office for 8 hours a day. Cry for me, Deja, when I get eaten alive in my actual textbooks in grad school. Not when you chose it. Cameron fell gracelessly backward, their hand pressed against their forehead. They at least tried to balance you on top of your thighs, but drama took obvious precedence. You weathered the jostling, head bobbing awkwardly as Cam twisted and turned. After a bit of shared laughter, you settled to idly watch the clouds drift by. People came and went across the lawn, and thanks to the slow hustle and bustle, your mind wandered away from classes towards thoughts of today. Of the lovely weather, the good food, and the company to be had. It's been a while since the 3 of you got to spend time together like this. Can't believe I'm graduating next year. Chunks of grass were being pulled up by the root, dirt scattered as the fact hung in the air. Had that much time really passed since you met them? This time next spring, you'd be seeing them across the stage into the next phase of their life. Pretty wild, huh? Crazy that I'll have to start application soon. That early? Yeah, I mean, I'd be a shoo-in for the program here, but I don't know. I was thinking about applying to some other places too. I went here because it's near my folks, and I saved a fortune not having to pay rent. But it feels like maybe you should talk to your parents about it. I'm sure they'd be able to help you figure the scarier parts out if you ask. No, that's true, yeah. I shouldn't give up before I even try. And it's okay to feel anxious about it, but I hope that doesn't stop you from doing what you want. It's just easy to feel overwhelmed, you know? Hey, and I know I can break into smaller steps, but that doesn't... Hey, oh god. The shouting from... Is it gonna be like... Of course it smacks me in the face. Oh man, I'm so sorry. Oh, you're right. Yeah, it's okay. Hey, glad you're apologizing. Less glad you almost trampled us. Oh no, sorry again. We were trying to stay in the corner, but just be careful, will you? Okay, Deja, pop off. Unbelievable. It's alright, Dee. I don't think they would have apologized more if they tried. You'd think the green isn't big enough or something. It's not their personal playground. Listen to me, I sound like my mother. But the green is a playground. There was an actual festival here. They had a petting zoo and everything. I already miss it. The smell of caramel popcorn in the wind, mixed in with the animal poop. Paint such beautiful pictures with their words. But I'm glad you had fun. Definitely. It was a nice break to have from, like, normal classes before exams. You, maybe. I'm mostly relieved the turnout was as good as it was. Pretty much means I'm guaranteed to get elected to student government again, but after the year we've had, not sure that's a good thing. I'm sure Rena would be happy to have you for another year. Yeah, I had to put out fires pretty much until the end, but because it all paid off, it was fun. I have no idea how we're gonna top this next year. Fireworks? I was thinking drone show, eco-friendly, quieter, and still fun to look at. You know, I half expected it to be them, The Frisbee people? Or wait, you thought they were Elio and the others? Yeah, I thought they were doing a bit, running and shouting to see what we do. Didn't realize it was a bunch of strangers until it was way too late. Let's be a little fair on them. Sometimes it's not Percy, Jamie, and Elio causing a mess. It's us. When have we caused trouble for them exactly? I'll get back to you on that. Where are they, anyway? You invited them, right, Yuri? Let me check. Oh, you guys want to go to a picnic? Where you at? Just got Elliot from his last final. He looks dead inside. See you in a bit. They're on their way. Cool. We've been hanging out with them so much the last 2 weeks that it's kind of weird not seeing them. Crazy that we basically just met them. Elliot really made good on actually hanging out after the barbecue. Did you think he actually was going to? Nope. But that's not against Elio. Most people say they will, then life happens, you know? I'm pretty sure that happened to everyone I met during orientation. Not that I showed up to any parties people try to throw anyway. You showed up to this party, that's all that matters. Like I would ever miss it, come rain or shine. It shined today, thankfully. Looks like we're finally done with the spring showers. Good. We've got so much rain, my folks got sandbags to keep the water from leaking into our garage. You guys are literally the quietest people here. I have zero idea how you expected us to find you. Hey guys. Is Jamie just in the back, or is he just that tall? Because that's kind of terrifying. Ilya invited himself down onto a corner of the picnic blanket, grinning as you, Deja, and Cam shifted to make room. Percy opted to sit on the grass nearby instead, while Jamie hovered next to him with arms crossed loosely over his chest. How are your finals? Jamie shrugged noncommittally, while Elio, after meeting Deja's gaze and securing her approval, plucked a grape from the bunch to snack a bit before he answered. Sucked. You knew astrophysics would be murder on your brain. Yes, how hard can rocket science be? Percy chuckled, shaking his head as he reached to snap a cracker in half. He handed one piece to Jamie before snagging the other half for himself. It was fine. Exams are exams, you know. I'm not sweating it too much. Probably didn't strain myself too hard compared to you guys out there. Out here, bro. I think it's getting late. Finding an open spot in the green is more stressful than anything else. You're telling me nearly had to have Cameron bowl over a sorority. They were fundraising too. Dangerous stuff, man. Their arrival quickly lapsed into casual conversation, a back and forth between the three of them, Deja and Cameron and you. It was like the end of the barbecue all over again. Stretched out across the lawn, talking about anything and everything, except this time it wasn't so much to learn about each other as it was to catch up the gaps in between. Did the six of you look like friends now? Did you even want to? As he listened to what must have been Elio's 1000th retelling of his attempted frat rush freshman year, Percy smiled gently, barely concealing a laugh by pressing the back of his hand to his mouth. Now that you've gotten to know him, it was true that Percy was quieter than his first impression had implied he'd be. He wasn't usually the first person to suggest things, and he was more than happy to roll with the punches when it came to, well, everything. Instigating was a rarity, unless strangers were involved. It was an uncommon combination. Yeah, no. It was it was embarrassing to think of it like falling in love at first sight, but your feelings only persisted more now that you had gotten to know him better. You're frankly worried about your chances of hiding your crush around him. Even now, you have to remind yourself not to glance at him too often. That's when I looked down, pants gone, just straight up. And then? What do you mean and then? Then I walked back home, knees in the breeze. Elio laughed, his cheeks warm from both the embarrassment and the laughter. His entire body seemed to shake with infectious joy, and even the strangers who happened to be sitting nearby stifled chuckles at his enthusiasm. Pulling people along with his orbit came effortlessly to him, whether it was a chance meeting or something more insightful. Either way, you knew time spent around Ilya was the promise of something interesting happening. Yeah, no, besties. Ilya made himself easy to befriend and easier to be fond of. He was fun, and obviously hanging out with him was a guaranteed blast. Elio is literally, I'd see him like, you know, like platonic soulmate, because we're so alike and we like so much of the same thing. I feel like he would be my bestie. You weren't so insistent as to think he'd spend every waking moment with you, but when your hangouts did overlap, everything just fell naturally into place. All the while, Jamie and Deja were content to listen, splitting a plate of fruit between themselves as Cameron and Elio batted stories back and forth. Amusement gleamed subtly in each of their eyes, though Jamie's veneer was quicker to crack. All it took was particularly silly noise from Elio, and Jamie coughed a delicate laugh, shoulders jolting in a moment of unguarded humor. With a reputation like campus boyfriend, there had been some expectation that Jamie was untouchable, literally or otherwise. Watching him laugh, though, he was obviously just him, a normal student, albeit one who liked playing up a sense of mystery. Jamie was easier to get along with than most people assumed, and you approve. You'd guess that you could be friendly with him, and you'd been right. He wasn't nearly as intimidating as people made him out to be. As it turned out, all he had to do was respect his boundaries, revolutionary thought that. And when he did, Jamie had revealed a bit of a mischievous streak and several other facets of himself besides. Psst, Yuri. Oh, he wanted something. Help me out? Oh, absolutely. What's the magic word? Abracadabra? No. Alakazam? Nope. Not it. It's please, you nerd. Purdy, please, then. He plucked a strawberry from the bowl, and with 2 neat swipes over the melted bar, you soon presented him with a chocolate-covered streak. You're a saint. Oh, okay. Okay, is that how he wants to play? Okay, Percy. I see you. Your brain promptly short-circuited for all of a second. God damn it. Don't blush. Don't blush. Ew. Don't make it weird. You started it? Well, you thumbed a bit of strawberry. So what's up? Your head's really in the clouds. Yeah, I was just there. Huh? I'm not shocked. Did we... She like me for real, just straight up saying it. You sure you want to risk it? People tell me I wreak havoc in their thoughts, or was it their dreams? Okay. I was thinking about you and other people. Which other people? Why does that matter? Cameron, shut the fuck up! We're just chatting. I see that, silly. I was hoping for details. I mean, I can recap it, but it's all just small talk. Sorry, Cam. You know Yuri's not the type to say anything too scandalous. Never mind. I hope I get the same. Oh my god. I don't... Fuck. Would we have been more forward if I had a different personality? I want to be more forward. I just want to straight up be like, yo, Percy. Like, my character should just be like, yo, Percy, I think you fine. I wouldn't say it like that. I'd just be like, yo, I like you, you know? Date. Like, you have to go out immediately. I'd say get to know each other more and how stuff would progress romantically and go from there. Anyway, I was really going to ask what everyone is doing this summer. Not much. I was planning on sticking around Fairfield, but I haven't figured out where I'm staying yet. Get any room at your place, Cam? No, my folks would adopt you. All part of my long con. Any other plans? Making the biggest meatball, singular. The last time you tried that, the meat at the center stayed completely raw. No, okay, so this time I'm going to put spaghetti inside the meatball, and I'm doing an internship over at the observatory. The one near campus? Yeah, I had to fight off like 20 other people to get a spot, figuratively. That makes sense. If anyone else in astrophysics is trying to stay local, they'd be applying there. Yep. Our options are basically wherever a program already exists, like JPL in California or Cape Canaveral. Wait, so does this university exist, or is this like I forgot the name of the university. Wait, let me look at Fairfield, USA. Fairfield, this pretty much is supposed to be New York. I doubt there is a Fairfield in the New York State. Upstate New York. Okay, so like it's really small. There's like 1,000 people living there. I didn't actually think it existed. It doesn't look like the university essentially exists. Oh, okay. Fair enough. You know. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to convince myself this was a better option. Anything on the agenda for you, Jamie? Oh, well, my dad went back to visit his family for the summer, so I was planning on staying here too. You didn't want to go with? No, it's important for him to have his time with them. My going along would just mean that they'd want to accommodate me instead. Grandson adjacent affection and all. Yeah, I'm gonna work on myself. Work on what? Like, your life? Kind of? Self-reflect for flat. My plan is to learn how to read. Kind of. Self-reflection, maybe some routine things. No better time for it than when we have the time to do it, right? Oh, okay. I see what you mean. Not too stressful, but still something you'd plan to do, yeah? You could learn from her example, Percy. Oh, is there a crime to just want to vegetate? What about you guys? My internship's in town, so I'll pop in from time to time. Same old, same old. Unlike Cam, my internship's in the city, so I am going home. But you'll see me around when campus tours start back up. I'll probably be back a few times aside from that to keep you company. Oh, so no crashing your dorm for the summer? Ha, funny. Even if I said yes, RA would never let you. Summer housing is so expensive, though. Tough shit. Did I say tough shit? That wasn't what it said. It is what she said. Okay. You did turn in our form to stay for the summer, right, Percy? Yeah, relax. We got the place for another season. So we'll all be around more or less. If I had known, we could have gotten one of those vacation homes together. No one can live with that many beanbags other than, well, us. But we're still hanging out, right? Only if you guys want to. I know everyone's busy. Oh, Cam! Literally, we all love each other. It's fine. My home's technically a town over, and last year Deja and Yuri weren't really here, so... Sure, I'll figure out when everyone's free and we can set up a thing. Yes, Elio. This guy's birthday's at the end of the summer anyway, so maybe you can make a big thing out of it. Oh, well, I don't really need that. Maybe something simple. He might enjoy Persades. Okay. Hey! We got to celebrate someone's birthday. I'm assuming the demo ends here. Oh, summer romance. I like that. But yeah, I think the demo will end here. I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry. Oh! Oh my god. Good game. Good game. Good game.
It took me altogether like 8 hours to complete the demo, but it was I have nothing bad to say about the game, like, at all. Oh my god. Oh my god. I really really like the game. And I can't wait for like the full thing to come out because I will enjoy the shit out of that game. All right, let's transition back because I'm not. No. I streamed a lot longer than I wanted to. It's 3 a.m. It's almost 3 a.m. I have work in the morning. Hi. Hi. All right, let's get close and personal, guys. Hi. I just felt something crawl on my neck. I thought that was an insect. It's not an insect, is it? No, it was my hair. Okay. Thank God. All right. I had a lot of fun. I'm really getting into visual novels. Um, as I said, we'll see how we'll see how it um we'll see how this week goes. I'm gonna put the schedule up tomorrow. On my Discord, I have a server in case anyone wants to like come by. We're a loving community there. Small but mighty, you know. But yeah, I had a lot of fun. Keyframes, honestly, as I mentioned, it's a really fun game. I had so much fun playing it. I really want to see the end product. There's so many visual novels and so many talented people working on visual novels, and for I can't wait for this game to come out. And I can't wait to just play more. I've really like gotten into playing visual novels. I'm really into it. But obviously, it's not all I'm gonna play. I play other games as well. We're gonna figure that out. But yeah, I'm not gonna repeat myself too much. I'm not just gonna constantly say I had lots of fun. I had so much fun. I'm not gonna do that. I understand that like that'll get annoying. I don't know what I'm saying, but thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate all of you so much. Um I hope you have a lovely time zone wherever you are. Have a lovely morning, afternoon, evening, night, and we will see again on Wednesday. Bye bye. 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 Where is the button? Bye.